members, on behalf of the #1 citizen in the state, His Excellency, the Governor of your state, the Engineer of Modern of your state, I welcome you all to this very important occasion of International Day of Persons with Disability. Today promises to be exciting, to be educative, to be informative, as well as thought-provoking, because of the fact that, looking at the program yesterday, I've seen that we've been engaged in different topics relating to the theme of this particular event. And today promises to be more interactive, promises to be more engaging, as well as thought-provoking. Without much ado, while we are still waiting for the government perspective in our community of persons with disability, that is our own Jagaban. That is Barrister Ayodele Adekombi. While we are waiting for him to join us here, I've been given the permission to start the program. So as a result of that, It's around now. Okay, very good. Okay, it's around now. So as a result of that, let us honor our dear nation. And if you can be on your feet, please kindly rise to your feet. If you can, if you are like me on the wheelchair, honorably sit, please. Thank you.
Would we stand? Nigerians all are proud to serve a symbol that truth and justice reign, and watching the man is oppressed, and so with peace and play.
Nítòótọ́ aṣíwájú ni wá, ẹ̀dẹ̀rí nínú ìwà àti ṣe wa pé aṣíwájú ni wá. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí bá ti ń bá orin ilẹ̀ wa lọ àtòrin ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ní Dija representing us at the inú mi máa ń dùn tí n bá ra àwọn olóríire. Mo fẹ́ bóyá èyí máa béèrè lọ́wọ́ barrister pé ọṣẹ wo lẹ fi ń wẹ̀ tí gbogbo ẹ fi ń bọ́ sí ká máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ orí. So láì ní dènà pẹnu ní ṣókí ìjókòó yìí, ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ń ṣètò ẹjọ́ mo fẹ́ kẹ́ fún mú orúkọ àwọn èèyàn wá fún mi, ṣùgbọ́n kó tó di pé mu dé, torí ṣe mọ̀ pé tèmi yìí àwa gangan là ń ṣe nǹkan ara wa. Àtàná láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ bí èmi gan mọ̀ wọ́n kẹ́ tó fún mi lórúkọ wọn, but inú mi á dùn láti jẹ́ kí n bá ní àwọn orúkọ yẹn lọ́wọ́, so that a lè máa ṣe àfihàn wọn. Ẹnì kejì tí màá tún dárúkọ, àwọn náà aṣíwájú ni wọ́n fún wa ní tá bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ọ̀rọ̀ àkàndá ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Àwọn náà ń sojú wa lọ́dọ̀ ìjọba. Ẹ bá ń Adéfẹ́mi tí wọ́n jẹ́ executive. Now, mo fẹ́ fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ tẹ̀yẹ́tẹ̀yẹ́ Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Matters, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ máa bọ̀ wá síwájú, ẹ bá ń fún wọn ní àtẹ́wọ́ tó rinlẹ̀ bí ọ̀wàrà òjò, please. Okay, àwọn gangan ní commissioner, sorry for that mistake. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má bínú, commissioner, ẹ bá ń fún commissioner ní àtẹ́wọ́ tó rinlẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Ẹ ṣé gan ni, inú wa dùn láti rí yín níbí bí. Ní báyìí mo tún fẹ́ ṣe àfihàn ẹni tí ó ń represent commissioner for police, am I right? ESP Ọmọyẹlé Johnson, ẹ bá ń fún wọn ní àtẹ́wọ́. Ẹ máa bọ̀ wá sí iwájú sáà. Ọkàn mi balẹ̀ pé kò lè sí wàhálà kankan bí lénìí. Tá bá ti rí àwọn tó ń dáàbò bò wá lórílẹ̀‐èdè àti ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ tó ń fi wà lórí ìjókòó, we can be rest assured that there will be no problem. Please once again put your hands together for our honourable commissioners. Then our leaders in our state, in Oyo State disability community. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ báyìí mo tún fẹ́ kí representative head of service, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ibi tí wọ́n bá wà ẹ bá mi fi àtẹ́wọ́ yẹ wọn sí. Ẹ bá ń fún ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ bá ń fún wọn ní àtẹ́wọ́, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ dákun. Ní báyìí a tún fẹ́ fún, ẹ bá mi fi àtẹ́wọ́ tó rinlẹ̀ bí ọ̀wàrà òjò fún ẹni tó ń sojú. Akínwálé, ẹ bá ń fún wọn ní àtẹ́wọ́. Okay, all right. Oh, very good. Now, wọ́n ní kí n pe inú àwọn olórí wa ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ní Nàìjíríà lápapọ̀. Tá bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ àkàndá ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà, àwọn ni aṣíwájú wa. Ẹ bá mi fún Evangelist Olúkáyọ̀dé. Ní báyìí mo tún fẹ́ fi ṣe, mo fẹ́ ṣe àfihàn ọ̀gá mi pàtàkì olóríire ni wọ́n, ẹni rere dẹ̀ ni wọ́n. Ẹ bá mi fún the coordinating director Oyo State Agency for Persons with Disabilities. Ọ̀gá mi, ẹ bá ń fún wọn ní àtẹ́wọ́, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ dákun. Àwọn tó train àwa nìyẹn, àwọn tó train wa nìyẹn, ẹ bá mi fún wọn ní àtẹ́wọ́. Thank you so much, sir, for all you do. Ní báyìí mo tún fẹ́ ṣe àfihàn Mr. OX Dáìró, wọn ní àtẹ́wọ́ bí tán bá wà. Ọ̀yọ́, tá bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ àkàndá, ẹ bá ń fún comrade Yọ̀wàrà Òjò. Ní orúkọ comrade Fẹ́mi Àjùlọ, mo kí gbogbo àwọn ẹgbẹ́ JONAPID ní Ọ̀yọ́ State tó bá wà ní International Day of Persons with Disability. Ẹni tí mo tún fẹ́ forúkọ ẹ̀ hàn ní Director of Finance and Account. Tá bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ owó, tá bá fẹ́ máa rówó náà, a gbọ́dọ̀ má fi wọ́n hàn. Àwọn wà lára àwọn tó jẹ́ kéto yìí kótó. Ẹ bá ń fún Mr. XO Ọ̀dẹ́rìndé ní àtẹ́wọ́ tó rinlẹ̀ bí ọ̀wàrà òjò. Ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́, mo fẹ́ fi orúkọ àwọn náà hàn. Ẹ bá ń fún wọn ní àtẹ́wọ́ Dr. Aluko Tolúlọpẹ́. Fẹ́mi Àjùlọ, mo fi kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ jẹ́ executive member of JONAPID Ọ̀yọ́ State. Then wa náà la mọ̀dí tí a fi wà ń bí lénìí ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́, that is kábẹ̀rẹ̀ látòrí executive governor of Ọ̀yọ́ State, the ọwọ́ pé a gbọ́dọ̀ executive governor of Ọ̀yọ́ State, the ọwọ́ pé a gbọ́dọ̀ mú ìgbé ayé rọrùn fáwọn àkàndá. Wọ́n wá mú ẹnìkan ṣoṣo, wọ́n mú ẹnìkan ṣoṣo, wọ́n mú èèyàn méjì. Kò fi bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́mọ̀ nípínlẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà kí a rí gọ́vnọ̀ tí yóò máa nífẹ̀ẹ́ àwọn Barrister Ayọ̀délé Adékànbí ipe kí wọ́n jẹ́ ọ̀gá pátápátá káfàtà fún gbogbo àwa àkàndá kan máa sojú wa lọ́dọ̀ ìjọba. Nínú omi ọ̀pẹ̀rapọ̀ láti wá ojútùú. Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay, so having conversation around issues that matters with disabilities. And what we are doing since yesterday, we are having a summit as well as International Day of Persons with Disability. And the theme for this summit is a new world order for persons with disability in your state. Right, access, and inclusion. And I love this theme in particular because it talks about what is very, very important to persons. The issue of access inclusion is access. It's access because persons with disability want to be part and parcel of everything, the programs and policies of government. As a result of that, I'm not the speaker. We have speakers that will be doing justice to this conversation. Please, I would like to introduce to us when it's come to issue of disability in your state to give us his opening remark. Once again, put your hands together for Barrister Ayodele Adekombi, the Director General of your state agency for persons with disability, for his welcome address.
Commissioner, Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincies Matter, Honorable Chief Ademola Ojo Obafemi, the Executive Assistant to His Excellency, Honorable Comrade Femi, is the representative of the Commissioner of Police, the members of organizing committee for the maiden edition of the first stakeholders and the colleagues, the head of clusters from the Joint National Association of Persons with Disabilities, the Nigerian Association of the Blind, the Association for the Deaf, the Spinal Cord Association, the Association Oyo State Chapter of Albinism, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, two of the maiden edition of Oyo State Stakeholders Meeting and Disability Summit, an International Day of Persons with Disability. I want to welcome you all, and I believe that today our resolution and discussion will be of great benefit for all of us. Once again, you are welcome and God bless you.
Please, you can do better. You can do better. Yini kí ẹni lè ṣe mí ní àsìkò Ayọ̀délé Adékọ̀mbí, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àkàndá ló jẹ àǹfààní pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ èèyàn ló ń gba. A máa ń ṣe program níbi táwa yìí. Ẹ rí i pé tọdún yìí yàtọ̀. Barrister Ayọ̀délé wọ́n make sure pé there is access. Ẹ bá mi fún wọn ní àtẹ́wọ́lẹ̀ kan sí. So, I will go back to the introduction, and I will do that briefly before we call our guest speaker. Please permit me to recognize the presence of Mr. Kayode Rogas, representing Chief Adegbola Orobiyi, that is country manager of. I will like to also recognize the presence of Mrs. Adenike Bitara, Head of Staff, JDPC, Ibadan. Please put your hands together for her. Please step forward, ma, please. Both of you, to the podium, please. Thank you so much. Please put your hands together for them. Like I said, yesterday we have a very robust discussion yesterday, I tried to join online, and I love the fact that raised. But today promises to be more engaging, to be more interactive, to be more informative, as well as thought-provoking. So we already have our speakers here who will be sharing their wealth of knowledge. Your daughter to note down most of these key points. Now, I would like to introduce the speaker, the guest speaker for today. His recitation is here with me. Please join me as I welcome once again the speaker for today's first section, and that is your citation. Are you set?
Good morning, everybody. This is a citation of with extensive experience in project and business management. He has designed programs to enhance social skills for challenged consumers. His efforts have strengthened community connections and collaboration with interdisciplinary teams to address individual client needs. From February 2006 to June 2007, he was a business lead analyst at Wells Fargo in Temple, AZ, where he led data analysis initiatives, communicated business requirements to IT teams for 2006 as project manager, business needs analyst, included overseeing a 7 million infrastructure project, improvements in technology management from the University of Phoenix, and a Bachelor of Science in Distance at the University of Phoenix, focusing on information technologies impact in African countries. His credentials also include certifications in first aid, CPR, and health care training. Mr. Michael Orobri currently serves as President/Administrator at I Hope Care Center. He is actively involved in community organizations such as the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Phoenix, and Pilgrim Rest Baptist Church. Ladies and gentlemen, join me with a standing ovation as we welcome Mr. Mike.
Please, you can do better. Disability. Yeah. Okay. Hold on, please. Hold on.
Because I was told that you are not.
Please, there is a mix-up particular session. Please, kindly introduce yourself once again and open the section. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
General, Barrister Ayodele Adekombi, a good friend and my confidant. That is even the reason why I have to leave His Excellency's assignment this morning to come and grace this occasion. I congratulate you. Chief of Commissioner of Police, I greet you. The representative of the Deputy Speaker, I greet you. You are welcome. All other participants, especially the key speaker of this session, I to do with this kind of program should be congratulated because it's exceptional. And I'm sure all well-meaning people in this state, just like they have mentioned here today, has been very supportive and is concerned for disability development in Oyo State is very, very great. More people of this much is expected. I'm sure His Excellency will be so happy to see this kind of. That shows he has put the right peg in it. From what I have here, the topic is equal access among persons with disabilities. Very interesting topic. in the outside world, you find most of these things being practiced. It might be strange a little bit to us here, but with this type of program coming up, that you come up with a sign you decide that becomes regulation too. And it will now go and tally with best practices, the world best practices. So that is why you participants, the keynote speaker, so that you can ask questions where necessary, so that most of the things we are going to listen to here today will be to the full benefit of everybody. You know, there are a lot of innovative technologies. A lot of innovative technologies that you are going to be informed here today. Some of these things you read on the internet. Some of these the person you heard about his citation now. You know that is somebody that has gone far. So whatever is going to tell us here today, the advantage we have is that we are going to ask direct questions. And when we ask questions, the questions will be duly and professionally answered. That is the most important part of it. So it goes a very long way. This session, this technical session, is as important as what you can imagine. So I want us to be fully concentrated, so that we go back home with a lot of benefits. So, like, I'm sure he's the only speaker of this session, because I thought there are going to be a lot of speakers, but because of time, and you still have some other sessions left. So, with him, I'm sure it's okay for us today. So, and the potentials to transform lives too. The potential to transform lives, to empower individuals for more inclusive society is paramount. We have to be fully part of the society. Nothing is wrong with disability. I have a local example. Went somewhere yesterday, and there was this particular has been amputated. That guy was dancing for more than 2 hours with one leg without sitting down. I don't know how he has managed to do that. So if you know the amount of money this guy collected yesterday, because everybody was surprised that what's happening here. So it's because of the way that he has seen himself. He believes that he's fully part of the society and that nothing has happened to him. That's why he has been able to do that. Even look at Barrister. Barrister goes all over the world. There is no 1-2 months that you know accordingly. So look at that. How many able-bodied can even do all that? So if you are disabled and you think there is something wrong with you, that will not happen henceforth. After this technical session, I know that will not happen. So me, I'm not the speaker, so I'm just trying to introduce the speaker as the chairman of this session. So I welcome you to the session. Thank you.
And of course, our guest speaker for today. With a resounding applause once again, please put your hands together for our speaker. And he will be speaking on equal access among persons with of us here to please put your phone in silent and ensure you know presentation. You will be called to respond to the lecture or to ask your question. Thank you and God bless. Over to you, sir.
Good day, everyone. I want to congratulate each and everybody here for this beautiful occasion that extend my greetings to everybody on the high table, starting from the commissioner in charge of local government commission, the DG, the representative of the Speaker of the House of Assembly. It's quite an honor to be in front of you this morning, and I rejoice with each and every person in this hall. You know, for us to witness this eventful day. I want to say that I'm really very impressed from what I have witnessed from yesterday, even up to this morning, coming up in the world, and I thank God that people with disabilities too are really catching up, most especially in this, which the governor, Engineer Sheyi Makinde, has built with the and him and also the DG and every other person that are involved in the making of this Epoch Day. To dive into what we are here for today, and it is about equal access among persons with disability. I'm very sorry if I'm going to be very elementary, but I want us to have an insight. It's very, very important that we start looking forward to where we are going, you know, from this point. Sympathy over the years. But I am telling you that this is a dawn of the new era. We only ask, you have to create accessibility for us to improve our lives. The Day of Persons with Disability on the 3rd of December was proclaimed in 1992 by the United Nations General Assembly Resolution 47-3. The observance of the day aimed to promote an understanding of disability issues and mobility for this year is amplifying the leadership of persons with disability for an inclusive and sustainable in creating a more inclusive and sustainable world for all. It also emphasizes the importance of the participations of persons with disability in decision-making process. Defines disability as an umbrella term covering impairment, activity limitations, and participation restriction. An impairment is a problem in body function or structure. An activity limitation is a difficulty encountered by an individual in executing a task or action, while participation restriction. Nation Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disability also emphasizes that disability is a natural part of human diversity, and that persons with disability have the rights and dignity as everyone else. Persons with disability, PWD, refers to an individual who has physical, cognitive, intellectual participation in society. According to the World Health Organization, in 2018, there are approximately 25 million Nigerians living with disability, about 13.2% of the population. Here, I just want to break it down a little bit. Yes, today, as we are gathered, we are celebrating an international day set by the United Nations, you know, to celebrate, to look at the problems and the successes of what we have attained so far, the people in. It is pertinent to note that we have come a long way. We have come a long way, whereby both in the developed and on the developed nations, where equal chances for the right to life and every other social interactions that we will, that is impairment, that makes it more difficult for the persons with the condition to perform certain activities that facilitates that certain activities and limitations and interact with the world around them. Participation restriction. Disability comes in various forms affecting one's vision, movement, thinking, remembering, learning, and communicating. Hearing, mental health, and social relationship. Mental impairment that has a substantial or long-term effect on the ability to carry out day-to-day activities. In the present Nigerian societies, persons with disabilities tend to experience hardship than the able-bodied and the healthy ones. Persons with disabilities face difficulties accessing adequate health services, discrimination, and barriers to accessing basic social services and economic opportunities. However, it is prevalent in Nigeria to see people with disabilities being pitied, rather being encouraged to have impact in the development of the country. The worst situational part of this is that people with disabilities are turned to be beggars. And as a result of this, the social inclusion of PWDs in this country is jeopardized. For instance, Nigerian media still addresses disability issue as a charity matter instead of something concerning public policies. I think I'll have to stop here. I want to actually say that in our present day earlier, that we still look at people living with disabilities or having disabilities, and we tend to pity them. We tend to sympathize with them instead of giving them access and helping them out with empathy. These are two different words, sympathy and empathy. If you're sympathizing with somebody, you are looking at that person as if it cannot amount to anything and the person needs your charity. But if you are empathizing to a whole lot of things, education, health, accessibility, you are helping them out so that Nigerians live with at least one form of disability or the other. The most common disability in Nigeria is a visual impairment, hearing. It is incumbent and pertinent to lay the fact that the established and implementation of legal framework should be grounded in the protection, free of stigmatization and other disability challenges. Laws must be put in place to achieve such. In the course of stigmatizing PWDs, records of downgrade, discriminate, blame, and most especially target in crimes as they fall victims due to their vulnerability. And a change of focus in assisting people with disability in our present-day society. Impairment comes in different forms: hearing, intellectual hearing, and visual impairment, and every other thing. But the most important thing, as I keep stressing and as we go along the line, is that the accessibility to help these people so that they can be self-independent on their own. It's one thing that the society has to start looking upon. We have to have a change mindset. We need to start looking at people with disabilities that able-bodied people should be able to or are able to. Nigeria as a whole went to France, and we could not even manage a gold medal. All the things that were sent. But at the Paralympics, in powerlifting, it is because these people they were given prosthetic limbs, and they were able to compete favorably with people that are from all around the globe, and yet they are able to win gold medals. These are the assets that we are talking about. Looking at this, and we are not just going to be saying it or putting down the laws, but when this department was set up fully and solely to cater for 4 months, and I've seen the giant strides that had evolved. Thank you to And I think as a body also, we, people that are living with disabilities too, we've got something to also contribute. And in showcasing also our talent so that it can be identified, and then help can always come. It is when we identify talents, that is when we could pick up, and then the government will come in to help individuals so that they will be more productive, in helping the state and the country and humanity at large. I've enacted to ensure that the prohibition of discrimination against persons with disability in different countries of the world, e.g., United Kingdom, United States of America, Nigeria, and a number of others. The International 1995, applicable in the UK also, Americans with Disability Act 1990, applicable in the EU, Prohibition Act 2018, Nigerian with Disability Degree 1993, Disability Protection Laws, States in Nigeria, National Policy on Disability in Nigeria 2017. Chapter 4, one of which is the right not to be discriminated against on the level of sex, religion, place of origin, creed, etc., or be subjected to deprivation by reasons of the circumstances of birth. That isn't any constitutional provision clearly protecting the rights of persons with disability from discrimination. Therefore, as a way of correcting this oversight and in order to give PWDs a sense of belonging, the federal government enacted Discrimination Against Persons with Disability Prohibition Act, DAPD Act 2018. Nigeria, in January 2019, signed into law the Discrimination Against Persons with Disability Act 2018. The law prohibits discriminating against people with disability. The law lays out penalties for non-compliance and can be leveled on persons with corporations. It also stipulates a 5-year transitional period, after which public buildings, transport must be accessible by PWDs, as to housing, education, and healthcare. The new act is regarded as a first step towards the fulfillment of Nigerian, including our own dear Oyo State, had not only embraced this national legislation, but has also domesticated the act. The most important thing is for the end users, the people that are living with disabilities, the end users. It is good that the laws have been made. It is good that the laws are being enacted. But the enforcement, nation over, is where the problem, that's where we are actually having the problem. And it is by these conferences, this summit, this convention, that I think we'll come up with a communique, a strong-worded communique, appealing to the government to let us have access to a whole lot of things that we access in terms of medical care, access in terms of education, access in terms of transportation, which is very vital to each and every one of us in this gathering. The act of moving from one place to another, especially in this climb, is a very serious one, because access in terms of having vehicle that could encompass or could allow wheelchairs in, it's something that is proving difficult. Yes, when we look at it, we might say that yes, it's cost effective. I mean, it's in terms of the financial implication. But at the end, or overall, when we look at what it's going to be or be given to us, or what we're going to get at the end of the day, I know that as the government is trying, to make life easier and better for us, I just still and I believe that if it is being enshrined constitutionally, I believe that it's not something that is going to happen in a day. It's not something that is going to happen in a year. But if it is well planned and it is being inculcated into the budget, we will find out that it will go a long way in helping and giving access to a whole lot of us. Somebody came up with a question saying that even in the schools now, that we're having a whole lot of, for them to get themselves to the place of learning. It's a very difficult situation. And I just believe that if we have 1, 2, 3 buses that could actually accommodate the people going through this problem of transportation to school would have been eased. I know in the pipeline, God's grace, by next year when we shall all convene again, we will have focus to give glory to God concerning such transportation. You know, in essential to recognize the disability is a spectrum, and individuals may experience different levels of impairment or disability throughout their lives. That is in terms of mobility, dexterity, or speech impairment, cognitive or intellectual disability, e.g. learning disability, autism, and intellectual disability. 5, neurodevelopmental disabilities, ADHD, Anterior syndrome, or cerebral lives, hindering their full participation in society. The concept of equal access is essential in promoting an nation, ensuring equal opportunities and treatments for persons with disability. 2, independence, respecting the autonomy and the independence of persons with disability. And the independence of persons with disability. 4, participation and inclusion of persons with disabilities can be greatly between developed and developing countries, including Nigerians. Like I've earlier said, Nigerians. Like I've earlier said, we are looking at a situation where they need to, as people that have got talents that are waiting to be tapped, and access to what on the, with here in the developed world that could actually help these people to be more communicative, and by so contributing, express yourself, then there's a problem. But with this access, with these technologies that we're talking about, contribution that we will be having will be enormous. And it will be enormous. And it will be a contribution. So I just want to see the disparity. I want us to just go through the disparity between the developed world and the developed countries, ADA in the USA, including ramps, elevators, and access public transportation, greater access to education and room for improvement. Typically have more comprehensive healthcare systems and support services for PWDs, including the inspection of some of our facilities and for done in the past. But to the glory of God, with the little interaction I had way back then, I saw that these buildings and also the infrastructures that we have all over your state, a whole lot of things is in the pipeline. In fact, I know that if he has the resources in the very nearest future, so I'm just peeping, from, the blanket, but I know that there's so many things that the ministry are working on, faced by the PWDs globally. The experience of PWDs in developed countries like the US differed significantly a comprehensive approach that includes policy rising efforts. The experience of persons with disabilities in Nigeria are shaped by a mix of challenges. They have the challenges faced by this community. This through legislation, including the Discrimination Against Persons with Disabilities Act 2018. The law prohibits healthcare. However, the implementation of that is the reason about and or what we or better still to the society is that the private sector too is going to partnership with the ministry to help us. It will really go a long way in helping us solve some of these challenges. PWDs in Nigeria continue to face numerous challenges, include stigma and addressing the issue, putting us into consideration. All these things are now being incorporated. People, by the time public buildings, public infrastructures are being considered, whenever they to be partakers and users of such infrastructures, once they are being considered, movement and access to whatever might be done in such buildings will be a lot easier for us. It will be a lot than stigma. It is what we have been position of the society, and our political participation will make it more, like they say that it's who that wears the shoes that knows where it pinches. I believe that when we have representatives in our political circles, it will go along about ourselves. And so, whatever the challenges we are facing, whatever might be, we can always get a calm into the future. It's not just about buildings, it's not technician, access tech. They are based in Lagos, in Surulere, somewhere in Surulere. And they are into innovation and research. Being merged to help people and what they are making lives. They are helping people have access to do a wide range of things on the spectrum with technology, information technology. I pray and I hope that with time, invention, things like this, therefore, wherever diamonds and every other thing, where have been, placed. Reason is that the more we perform, the more they see what we are able to do, the more we will create more room, more, like I said, I met a whole lot of people, they work on deadlines and they get, so these are the things I see like and then as we keep going on, and equal access among persons with disabilities is a fundamental human right, essential for promoting inclusivity, dignity, and participation. By understanding this, we can create a more inclusive and equitable society for all. By working together, the rights of persons with disabilities are meant to be safeguarded, having enacted status to achieve such, and the government of the day should create in our society by and other ratified disability laws, protecting disability rights as human rights, implementing policies, going to round up, coming behind, and with the help of the state and the just want to implore us, like I said, please let us do it, because like I said, we are ambassadors and do. The stigmatization over the years has been so much, we need to start changing. And honestly, by the time he went through that letter, right there in his office, he picked out some two things that he said, no, this can't go. This guy, he's apt at what his office is talking. He spotted it. And since that day, my respect for him, in fact, anytime I want to give him anything, I double check. Finding ourselves being in state, being in private organization or anywhere, we are like a mirror to the society. We are celebrating him today. We are celebrating many people here today. Yes, they brought assets, but at the end of the day, what are they doing to it? They are using it to transform the lives of a whole lot of us and making life more easier for us.
Thank you, sir.
In the light of that, I still want to say that happy celebrations to all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please put your hands together for Mr. Kayode Ruga, representing our guest speaker, Chief Adebola Orobiyi. Thank you so much once again for that insightful presentation. And before I proceed with the introductions, I would like to quickly call our chairman for his...
Gentlemen, the speaker, a better round of applause.
Please, we can do better.
In the lineup of exceptional speakers here, whose expertise and insights promise to deepen the understanding and inspire actionable change. We've had a lot from him. And I know that with this type of audience that we have, there will be a lot of questions ready for him. But we want to approach it this way by requesting people that ask questions to put it in writing. Yeah. Put your questions in writing. Then put your contact below it and send it forward. At the end of the day, we want to get adequate responses to our question. So, and we want it to be communicated even by writing to us, so that it will be in our own records too. It is important. And those questions pedium. So it is important. Then to our people at the high table, we want to still give one or two people opportunity to react to our speaker. Just react briefly, and we expect questions from the participant. So, SA Admin to His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Oyo State, I want you to say something.
Thank you very much, our Honorable Commissioner, the chairman of this session. I was quite impressed by the presentation, even though it took, and the content of the preparation by the speaker is quite commendable. And one thing I want, the fact that there isn't anything that could stop you if you are willing to go beyond your disabilities. That struck me. Particularly his reference to the last Olympic. We know what happened when they traveled for the Olympic. They came back without any laurel, without any medal. But when our PWDs in the Paralympic, when they went, they came back and did this country proud. They came back with medals. And that tells us something, that sometimes what even the able-bodied could not do, you can do it. As long as you have that determination in you, as long as you have that commitment, that willingness, there is nothing that can stop you from breaking barriers, going beyond limitations, and becoming the best of who God created you to be. And in Oyo State, we thank God for the kind of governor that we have. He is doing everything to facilitate, opportunities for people or PWDs in terms of even recruitment. We know what we did, recently with respect to TESCOM and the SUBEB. And that has been the practice, and will continue. We are looking forward to a significant place among, even the able body, because there is nothing that stops you from doing that. So please take this presentation, know that there isn't anything that should stop you. There are opportunities globally. The new world order that is being set in place is such that there is an affirmative confirmation with respect to equal opportunities for people living with disability. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I would still like to let one of our sitting next to. So while she's going to respond, we want to hear from the police station. How are they accessible to disabled people? So that if they are not that accessible, you have to start planning for us too. Evangelist, you are not going to talk because it concerns you. You are number one here, so it concerns you. So if we do it that way, I think we can round up this session. Then the questions will come to you, then you will now try to respond. Madam.
Thank you very much, Chairman of this session. Let me stand on the existing protocol. I will say very little. I think I have some build-up in my own presentation. So I would just like to say that the foundation has been laid for a better life for persons with disability. And from the first presentation, we can see that globally, it is intentional that an enabling environment is provided for persons with disability. So the persons with disability need to take advantage of these provisions, as the first speaker said. Wherever you are, be the best that you can be, and don't be limited by your circumstance or your physical disability in any way. Whatever you want to do, you really can do it. My mindset has changed in the last 6 or thereabout years that I started working with people with disability. In fact, I find it difficult to give people with disability who are begging for alms anything anymore, because I feel that they may not really have a reason to be on the streets, because I meet very fantastic persons with disabilities who are doing such fantastic things and achieving great things despite their disability. So I thank the first speaker, and I will talk more when I'm making my own presentation. Thank you.
Please put your hands together for Mrs. Ibitara.
Good afternoon, sirs. I think it's a very important lecture. But first and foremost is knowing yourself. Before I can attend to you, you have to know yourself. You have to be confident of what you want to tell me, what you want to bring to me, so that lately the Nigerian police was on our own side, and our able commissioner of police. We even have the department that caters for people with disabilities. If you get to the headquarters, there's a department called the archive, probably inside while on service for this kind of persons, to attend to their needs to them when they need special. Identify why you are here. Don't move away from why you, because you know, as a security personnel, we have to be vigilant at all times. And when you look at the trend of things in Nigeria, we don't take threat lightly. So when you come to our facilities, we are very accommodating. Go straight to your point. This is it. And trust me, our Commissioner of Police, CP Ayodele Shonibi, takes special interest, and that is why he sent me here to represent him. We don't joke with you people, but please be intentional with your informations and everything. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Jeho Omoleye, representing the Honorable Commissioner of Police. Thank you.
I think the police information has been very adequate.
Yes, of course.
And so you are getting that information for free. So just capitalize on that and use it. Evangelist.
Thank you, sir. Please permit me to remain seated. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon once again, everyone. It's been very, very stimulating. I just want to say that get frustrated or get discouraged
by our circumstances, the situation we have found ourselves. So let us make use of these as persons with disabilities. But I want to say that access is what we actually need everywhere. Access to medical, to health service, access everywhere. Actually, I want to say, just as I said on the radio this morning when a radio station was interviewing me, I said that it is, and I continue to say it, I say it every time, it is not, we are not really handicapped or disabled. It is the society that handicaps us. It is the society that disables us. The society sets some standards. The society sets standards, sets some things that they expect us to do, just like other members of, the society, without giving us those things that will make us stretch beyond our limitation and be on the same, plain level ground with other people. If you give someone who has a visual impairment a book like the book I have here to read, it will become, if it's brailled with his fingers, he can read and read well. It's at the same level with the person who does not have a visual impairment. The same goes for we want to get here, we're coming for this kind of program, and you flag down a taxi, the taxi man tells you that, sorry, I cannot pick you because you have a wheelchair. Some of them don't even know that the wheelchair is collapsible. And some of them are ready to tax you for your wheelchair. Just as a person without mobility impairment will be asked, to pay for his legs experience, here and there. So if the society will put in place those facilities, assistive devices that will enable us to stretch beyond our limitations, then we will be at par, at the same level with people without disabilities. Finally, I want to say that just as my commissioner, that's I call him my commissioner, and that is our own commissioner, that's the Director General. That's the way I call him. There is much work to be done on implementation. It was one of the questions I was asked this morning. How are people complying? So, and I said it's the same problem over, not only in Oyo State. It's in Nigeria, good policies are put in place, but compliance will always be a problem. So I don't know how we're going to do it in Oyo State, but how to do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. No doubt about that. We are paying status state. And I have no doubt in
putting the end of the day, you are the only one that can make this good job that has been done to get, what's it called? You see, you just mentioned now that what is important, you can implement it. That's what is important. Without records, everybody will agree with me that this session has been very, very impactful and it's been wonderful. On this note, I want to close this session for another session. Thank you.
Please put your hands together for Honorable and Chieftains Matter.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I think I have to double as the host and my friend for his contribution today. Put your hands together for him again. Commissioner Wa Eshadupe. And I have another of my friend here. I want him to come upstairs right now, right about now. Koto Dipe alo from break take today. I want my brother, the Executive Director, Plant Foundation, Make your way upstairs here, sir. Thank you, Mr. Obatunde Oladapo.
Please put your hands together for Mr. Obatunde Oladapo.
Please come on board, come on board. Thank you. Then I have Yusuf to introduce our sister from England and our mother, Mrs. Omodebi.
Please put your hands together for the CEO and founder, Star Children Development Initiative, all the way from United Kingdom. Thank you so much. I would also like to recognize the president of another beautiful mothers in the house. That is the founder and president, the Down Syndrome Foundation Nigeria. Put your hands together for Mrs. Rose Modi. I would also like to recognize the president of the former assistant to the governor of the on disability matter, Alhaji Ismaila. Please put your hands together for Alhaji Ismaila.
Yes, before we go to the second lecture very shortly, but before then, the order that our tea break is going to take today, nobody go outside because we're going to have walking tea break. Tá bá jáde lọ, àníráyè ṣe fàájì tó bá parí ń rọ̀lẹ́ o. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tètè jẹ tea break in 30 minutes. Nobody ló gbọ́dọ̀ jáde. Wọ́n á máa gbé wá fún wa. A máa jẹun. A dẹ̀ máa fetí kan gbọ́ lecture. Ṣé gbà bẹ́ẹ̀ abẹ́ gbà bẹ́ẹ̀? Gọ́vnà wa online o, gọ́vnà ń wò wá lórí Zoom. Ẹ jẹ́ kí gọ́vnà mọ̀ pé àwa organize. I used to tell the governor and all of my friends here that we are so organized. Àwa yàtọ̀ sáwọn. Ẹ jẹ́ ká wà lórí ìjókòó wa. Wọ́n á fún wa ní ticket. Wọ́n á máa gba ticket. Wọ́n á dẹ̀ máa fún wa ní tea break wa. That ṣílẹ̀kùn sílẹ̀ fàájì abẹ́rẹ́ lọ́wọ́ aago 6. Àṣìwà ń. Ẹ ṣe ẹ̀yin tápẹ́tẹ́. Ẹ ṣe. Let's sit down. So, tea break máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ tí second lecture bá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀. So gbogbo questions ta ní kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ rẹ bí ìyàwó náà ń wò wá online. Ọ̀rẹ́ gọ́vnà wa ni wọ́n. Wọ́n fẹ́ ká gba gbogbo question yẹn together. Ká email ẹ̀ sáwọn. Ẹ kọ email yín, ẹ kọ orúkọ yín, ẹ kọ phone number yín. Àwọn máa dá yín lóhùn on your email. Torí ẹ̀ la ṣe ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ lénìí. So, Yusuf, over to you.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí apàtẹ́wọ́ tó rin ilẹ̀ ọ bí ọ̀wàrà òjò fún the Jagaban himself. The Jagaban ti wà ní disability community. Ìkan náà tún wọlé. Ṣùgbọ́n kó tó pé mo introduce àwọn ìyẹn, mo fẹ́ tètè recognize Honourable Bódìjà Akínwándé. Ọmọ onílé ni mí torí Bódìjà lèmi náà ń gbé. Now, mo tún fẹ́ recognize the Reverend Idowu Ogedengbe, the executive assistant to the governor on administrative matter. Ẹ bá ń fún ọ ní àtẹ́wọ́. Ní báyìí, mo tún fẹ́ recognize Tilewa Fọlámi, àwọn ní Ọ̀yọ́ State Investment and Public Private Partnership Agency. Ẹ bá ń fún ọ ní àtẹ́wọ́. Àwọn ní Director General. Then the last person mo tún fẹ́ recognize ni Reverend Fẹ́mi Ìbíkúnlé, àwọn ní SA on wa màá túbọ̀ máa dárúkọ wọn. Ẹ ṣe lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí.
Let's quickly rush and have ṣe ẹ̀jẹ̀ ká salutation wọn. Let's start and the chairman for this session is our brother Reverend Idowu Ogedengbe, the executive assistant to the governor on disability, on administration. After that, about the consultation, the chairman will have the floor, then the speaker, Mr. Obatunde Oladapo, who have been working with us in the area of family planning, reproductive health, will be coming on board. But let's have the salutation. Hear from Ms. Ibitra, but then to my chairman, Ms. Obatunde Oladapo is spending few minutes. Hey, Joe, madam. Chama Blajua, yes or no?
Yeah.
Ejo. All right.
All right.
Let's do that quickly.
All right. Thank you so much.
Then our chairman, that will chairman, Ms. Bitra, will be on his way. Chief Jobre, Dr. Sanusi, will be on his way.
All right. Thank you. So now it's time for us to read the citation of Mrs. Adenike Ibitara. Over to you. Okay, Chairman is not ready. Then who is ready now? Okay, now, please, we are still waiting for the chairman of that session. As a result of that, we are going to move to the next presentation. And we now read the citation of our guest lecturer, and that is in person of Mr. Obatunde Oladipo. Please put your hands together for Mr. Obatunde Oladapo. Okay, Oladapo, that is the Executive Director of the Plan Foundation. Please, while we are still waiting to get his citation ready. Is it ready now? It's ready now. Okay, thank you. Over to you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished press here, still standing on the existing protocol. As I read the citation of Mr. Olatunde Oladapo. Mr. Olatunde Oladapo is a co-founder and executive director of Plan Health Advocacy and Development Foundation, Plan Foundation. He has been largely instrumental to building up the organization from scratch to a major player in health and development at community, national, regional, and global levels. He has actively contributed to the establishment and development of community, social society, and activist networks, coalition, and movements of national, regional, and international levels. Mr. Obatunde was and is former Executive Secretary of the Oyo State Agency for the Control of AIDS, OISACA, which is the multi-sectoral coordinating and regulatory agency for the AIDS response in Oyo State between 2017 and 2019. Also, he was a founding member and executive steering committee, ESC member of the African Community Advisory Board, AFRICAB, and has sat on the ITPC World Community Advisory Board, WorldCAB, since 2008. He was also the founding member and national coordinator since 2013 of Treatment Action Movement, TAM, activist, which was established in 2003. TAM leads advocacy for access to HIV/AIDS-related prevention, treatment, and care services in terms of availability, accessibility, acceptability, affordability. Society network of organizations working on tuberculosis and TB/HIV in Nigeria in 2010, which has risen to the status of a national network of over 400 registered members, organizations, and in the world. He was a community representative on the core group from 2007 to 2009. He was and also former member of the community's delegation of Joint United Nations Program on AIDS. He is also the TB civil society representative on community coordinating mechanisms, CCM, of the Global Fund to Fight AIDS, Tuberculosis, and Malaria, GFATM, in Nigeria. He has experience working with people from diverse social type premium on evidence-based advocacy and activism, focusing on eliciting real-life convincing and community-based information and populations in support of the affected communities. So in support of the decision making and policy formulation on issues relevant to HIV/AIDS prevention, treatment, and care. He has an impressive track record of working at community level on community engagement for raising demand for TB services, providing support for TB patients, facilitating linkage of communities to integrated AIDS, TB, and malaria services from inception of the Global Fund, CSS, in Nigeria. He holds memberships of several reputable national, regional, and global bodies working on HIV, AIDS, tuberculosis, and other health-related issues. These include International AIDS Society, IAS, Society for AIDS in Africa, SAA, International Union Against Tuberculosis and Lung Diseases, IUA-TLD, Stop TB Partnership, Global Health Council, GHC, International Alliance of Patients Organizations, GCTA, Professional for Humanity, PROFO, Network of People Living with HIV and AIDS in Nigeria, New One, Civil Society for Health, AIDS in Nigeria, CISHAN, Civil Society for the Eradication of Tuberculosis in Nigeria, TB Network, Civil Society for the Elimination of HIV Among Children, CEHAC. He has also served on and led various research programs, surveys, and field studies. His work and contributions to provision of AIDS, TB, and malaria services are well documented in over 20 abstracts that he has authored and co-authored, and have these and meetings on HIV and AIDS, TB, and related issues since 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to join your hands together as we welcome the guest speaker for today. A round of applause. Thank you very much.
Please put your hands together. Thank you so much. I have no doubt that this section promises to be very insightful as well. Over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am not a protocols person, but I want to just stand on existing protocols. My greetings to everyone on the high table. I also want to specially recognize my brother here. He's an amazing. I have to pay for advertisement before I can give people the clue. Anyway, he makes shoes for me, in case you don't know. Ogasa, you said you are very accommodating. I hope it's not accommodating people inside the. You understand what I'm saying? Evangelist, I like your cap and Queen, Igbo Queen. I am about to do all of that. Where is the presentation? I made a brief adjustment. Okay, let me just use to, because the topic is about, they gave me is about family planning. And family planning is just a little bit, a small part of sexual and reproductive health services. So I'll be speaking on promoting, that's the title, promoting access to sexual and reproductive health services among persons with disability, the Embassy Project. I hope there is no problem. We are not projecting. Just a brief outline of what I'm going to be just discussing about. I'm going to talk about Plan Foundation, what we've been doing all this while. I'll provide some background to the presentation and also talk about why we focus on disability and inclusion at Plan Foundation. I will highlight a few of our previous efforts on disability and inclusion. I'll talk about the Embassy Project, the focus of the project, the problems being addressed by the project, what changes that the project is already bringing, the objectives, activities, how we are monitoring the project, and how we're going to ensure that the changes made are sustained.
Please, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I want to dedicate this because we do some things together that I won't tell you. She was a TV leader of leaders and leaders of women. I'm sure many of us will know who I'm talking about. Mrs. Sarah Akinola, who left us to be with the Lord in February 2021. With 1 minute silence in her memory. Please let us stand up, please. In peace. Amen. Thank you. Kindly sit down. Thank you very much. Mrs. Sarah Akinola was one of our, she contributed with me, is also one of the major mentoring under the, we have over 2 decades track record. Our major target beneficiaries.
Ọlọ́run ẹ jẹ́ ká fi ọkàn sí.
Àbí kí n ṣe presentation yẹn ní Yorùbá ni.
Ṣé family plan consultant òun la máa jàǹfààní ẹ̀ lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ lófò yìí courtesy of Oyo State Agency for Persons with Disability. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ a jẹ́ ká fọkàn sí.
Àwọn technical people.
Please, for God's sake, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má jẹ́ ká rojọ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa fọkàn bá wọn lọ. Thank you. Continue, sir. Okay, wọ́n ní kẹjọ kẹ máa sọ Yorùbá náà.
Kí n máa ṣe ìbò kí n máa sọ Yorùbá. Ó dà àfọwọ́kẹ́ ìbò akadé ẹ̀ ní lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ láyé bàbá wa Bọ́lá Ìgè àtúnfẹ́ owó kọ́ yòókù. So bá a ṣe gbọ́ Yorùbá náà la sì gbé ìbò a máa yí mọ́ra wọn. So our target beneficiaries are decision makers as well as marginalized areas for women. Yeah. So lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ gbà tá a bá ń ṣiṣẹ́ a máa ń wo àwọn aláṣẹ. Nítorí pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ gbà tá a bá ń ṣiṣẹ́ àwọn tí yóò ṣe ìpinnu lórí bẹ́ẹ̀. And at times we define some people as hardly reached. Àwọn tí àkàndá èèyàn wọn ìṣábà rántí wa. Areas where we focus on reproductive health, counseling and care, projects on tuberculosis, community engagement, advocacy projects on tuberculosis. And then we are proud to say at Plan Foundation, àwa la kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ká máa gbé ìrere tuberculosis coffee lost a number of successes by taking the treatment to the people, the diagnosis and screening to the people. We have also worked for the Global Fund, and then in our work with AHF is AIDS Healthcare Foundation, and we have seen that this has helped to increase access to treatment. And when I became the executive secretary of SACA, we introduced this, and we were able to test thousands to test. Now, Entertainment Plan Foundation, a fair communication. We devised method video kọjá de nsìn lórí club foot. Táwọn Yorùbá ń pè lẹ́sẹ̀ akàn. So, for the last 20 years plus. Now, let's talk about disability. Upon Nigeria, as at 30th of this month, of last month, Nigeria has a population of over 234 million. Now, globally, it has been shown wípé ó kéré jù ìdá mẹ́ẹ̀ẹ́dógún nínú ọgọ́rùn-ún àwọn èèyàn ni ó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ní ìpèníjà ara lọ́nà kan àbí lọ́nà míì. And at times, when we look at disabilities, ẹnìkan sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan pé wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ Barrister Adékànbí àti àwọn tí ara wọn dá pé mo sì mọ̀ pé ara àbúrò mi dá pé dáadáa kò kàn ríran ni àbí mo parọ́ ni kókókó lára kí ni ṣe lára ọ̀tá ń le gbogbo ọ̀nà bí ibi tí ò ti yẹ kí ọmọkùnrin kú ọ̀rẹ́ mi náà àbúrò mi náà kò síbi tó ti kú ń bẹ̀ ẹ má béèrè ibi tí ò ti yẹ kí èèyàn kú ṣebí ẹ ṣàmọ̀ bẹ̀ ọmọkùnrin ò gbọ́dọ̀ kú lórí àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ kò gbọ́dọ̀ kú lẹ́nu kò gbọ́dọ̀ kú lápò kò sì gbọ́dọ̀ kú lábẹ́ àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ so kò síbi kankan tó yé Barrister Adékànbí ti kú. But that 15% is estimated to be about 1 billion. 1 billion of the world's population. And yet, they often face barriers to information and services. The ignorance and attitude of society and individuals raise most of these barriers, not the disability themselves. Let me say it again. Àìmọ̀kànmọ̀kàn àwọn àwùjọ ohun gan ló ń jẹ́ ìdènà fún àwọn tó ní ìpèníjà ara, kì í ṣe ìpèníjà ara gangan òun ni wàhálà. So you are buying nísìn. So existing services can be adapted easily to accommodate persons with disability. And you know, hello, kò sí ètò kankan tá à ń ṣe ládùúgbò wa tó yẹ kí gbogbo wa lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ sí tá a bá fi ara balẹ̀ tá a bá ro èrò tó dáa, kò sí kankan tó fi jẹ́ pé ó yẹ kó nu gbogbo àwọn tó ní ìpèníjà ara, àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́? So, Ademo ti sọ tẹ́lẹ̀ pé Nigeria, we signed the protocols on the CRPD. Okay, let's move ahead.
Ẹ má jẹ́ apariwo. Ẹ má jẹ́ apariwo ẹ jọ̀ọ́. Please.
So we ask ourselves, why do we focus on disability at Plan Foundation? That one is not having a disability today is not a guarantee that one will not have a disability tomorrow. In fact, Baba ti ń dàgbà sí disability wa ń pọ̀ sí 30 years ago. Àìbẹ́ẹ̀kọ́. So, and persons with disabilities have equal rights as every other person and even greater needs than others without disabilities due to the peculiarities and nature of their disabilities. Therefore, Intermanship Plan Foundation, we mainstream disability into virtually every activity, project, and program of our organization. And most times, Tabafe Shishe, we will hold consultation with persons with disability so that their voices can be heard loudly. Àwọn èèyàn mi pọ̀ ń bì dáadáa, ìyàwó ọ̀gá wa Ọláìtàn wà ń bẹ̀rùn, mo rí òkìkí tó lọ báyìí nísìnyí. Chooks wà ń bì, kò sí kankan náà àwọn èèyàn wa tó mọ̀ pé tá bá fẹ́ ṣe nǹkan àìfárí lẹ́yìn olórí. We not only do that, we put persons with disability in the driver's seat. The project we are implementing is with the leadership of persons with disability in Oyo State. And we are also serving as technical partners to the Oyo State Agency for Persons with Disability. Now, about the embassy project. Embassy, visa, but it's an acronym for the project title, Eliminating Multiple Barriers to Sexual and Reproductive Health Services Among Young Girls and Women with Disabilities in Oyo State. That's what we call the embassy project. The project recognizes the fact that women with disabilities in Oyo State have even more pressing sexual and reproductive health needs compared to other women in the general population. Sherry, embassy lọ sílé ìwòsàn tó bá rí bọ́ ṣe ń wàtán hù fún àwọn obìnrin wa tó ní ìpèníjà ara, wọ́n ti ẹ̀ máa rò pa àwọn ìgbé fúkẹ́fúkẹ́ bíi tàwọn ẹlòmíì. Wọ́n ti ẹ̀ máa rò pé tó bá ní disability kò sí ẹ̀ ní sẹ́ẹ̀sì kìí gbádùn ìbálòpọ̀. Àìbẹ́ẹ̀kọ́, bẹ́lómi bá ti ẹ̀ gbọ́rọ̀ rẹ̀ dé clinic wọ́n ní ṣe ń tọ́kàn lọ́rọ̀ rẹ̀ nu. Àìbẹ́ẹ̀kọ́, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ti ẹ̀ máa rò pé kò tí ẹ̀ lè ṣàbíyamọ bí àwa yòókù. So you are buying nísìn. So these are some of the challenges that women with disability have. They are even more vulnerable. Wọ́n wà nínú ewu àìsàn ìbálòpọ̀ ju àwọn ẹlòmíì tí wọn ò ní ìpèníjà ara lọ. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ń gbà míì tóbìnrin tó bá ní ìpèníjà ara bá sọ fọ́kùnrin rẹ̀ pé ọ̀rẹ́kùnrin rẹ̀ pé kó lo condom yóò ní àrọ́jú jẹ̀kọ ọ̀bùn tún kọ́ ṣe kí ni o ń pọ́n ọkọ rẹ̀ kéré. Wọ́n náà tiẹ̀ tún sọ pé àti afẹ́ ràn ẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àìbẹ́ẹ̀kọ́ mo wà ṣọ́ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ náà àwọn obìnrin wa náà ti máa experience irú nǹkan báyìí. Now, the focus of our project is to collaborate with the Oyo State Agency for the Persons with Disability àti JONAPWID to lead advocacy activities. Àjókòó sọ́fíìsì wa ká máa dá ṣe, a fi àwọn èèyàn wá síwájú. Ara àwọn project working group wa ni Evangelist Olúkáyọ̀dé wà, Roslyn Oníyìdé, ṣé kò sí háyìn? Mo lọ sọ́kọ́ àmọ́ sí, mo ti rí ẹ lọ́rùn. Working group wa, Roslyn, please stand up for recognition. Àti Evangelist, please give them a round of applause. Mọ̀ tó fà á, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ bílà ọ̀nà làbá ti kọsẹ̀. Nítorí pé it is he who wears the shoes that knows where it pinches. Àwọn nǹkan míì táwa ò tiẹ̀ lérò ẹ̀ because wọ́n máa ń ṣe project working group meeting àwọn experts wa. So àwọn náà máa pè ẹjẹ́ àṣẹ báyìí o, ẹjẹ́ àṣẹ báyìí o, ẹjẹ́ àṣẹ báyìí o. Àti ẹ̀rọ. There are some things that might seem so obvious, but you will never think about them. We value them so much because they have been very, very influential and beneficial to our project. And we work with various agencies of government, including the Ministries of Health, Primary Health Care Board, Ministry of Women Affairs, many of our government agencies, including our schools, College of Health Technology, College of Nursing and Midwifery, we work with them, including the Department of Nursing, now the Faculty of project. Now, Kinisha Embassy team here is for us to advocate, to ensure that all things, and we are able to overcome those barriers. And I'll give you an example. We identified 15 healthcare facilities in Oyo State. And our healthcare facilities here are designated as disability-friendly facilities. Now, in each of those facilities, trained a total of 30 healthcare workers in Oyo State to do what? To provide services for women with disability. Àwọn ilé-iṣẹ́ ìlera alábàáyàn fúnra wa, we selected it courtesy of the Oyo State Agency for Oyo State Primary Health Care Board. Lẹ́yìn yẹn wọ́n tún wá nominate òṣìṣẹ́ ìlera méjì níbi facility kọ̀ọ̀kan ó jẹ́ 30. Àwa train wọn pé àwọn ọ̀nà wo ni a fi lè pèsè àwọn ètò fún ìgbáyégbá ìyàmọ̀ tó yìnbó ń pè ní sexual and reproductive health services for women with disabilities. They train wọn o. We supported the development of a training manual. I wish I can project the cover here. The development of a training manual that we are going to launch soon. Yeah, I'll do it before then. That we are going to launch soon for training of healthcare workers. The beauty about this training manual is that it can also serve as a ready reference document for even those who are not healthcare workers. Ìwé yìí tí obìnrin tó bá ní ìpèníjà ara tó bá gbéwé yìí lọ́wọ́, the totality of the health of the woman with disability, and not just sexual and reproductive health, is what the manual is talking about. And the manual has a total of 15 chapters, well illustrated, expertly illustrated. Very soon, we will call everybody together for the launching of that manual. Now, lára nǹkan tá a tún ṣe, ó ní pé àwa develop advocacy and resource mobilization plan tó jẹ́ bí sustainability plan. Tó rà rí pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọgbà tá a bá ń ṣiṣẹ́ tó máa fún wa lówó, táwọn èèbò bá fún wa lówó, tówó ń bá ti tán, ìtàn ní ká fowó yẹn ṣe, gbogbo ẹ̀ ó kàn wálẹ̀ ni. But àwa ò fẹ́ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Àwa ti ṣe plan tó jẹ́ pé tí wọ́n bá owó tán fún wa yẹn bá tiẹ̀ tán, àwọn ètò yẹn, iṣẹ́ rere yẹn kò ní dúró. Ṣó yẹ wá báyìí nísìn, that's what we call sustainability. We have completed that. We are still going to launch that strategic plan as well. Now, gẹ́gẹ́ bí there are a lot of pictures tí àbáríwò mi ká ní wọ́n project kìíní ni on our activities. Now, a dẹ̀ tún ṣe training fún àwọn project working group wa on evidence gathering and monitoring and evaluation, because ó yẹ kán lè máa monitor kí là ń ṣe. Okay, we are seeing it here. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's the cover of the manual. So can you move forward, please? Can you move forward, please? Please go on, please go on. Okay, these are just some of our pictures during our activities. Next slide. Yes, next slide. Just keep moving so that we can quickly. I talked about the training and for the healthcare workers. Next slide. use basic sign language. And that lady with that fine lady with the white glasses, Sheyi Abi, Sheyi gone for her. Even without being blind, she was one of the best in sign language. And Ọláìtàn ló ń kọ́, Ọláìtàn tó ní ìpèníjà àti gbọ́ràn, òun ló jókòó sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ Ṣèyí, tí ń kọ́ Ṣèyí bá ṣe kí ni o, bá ṣe lo sign language. And it was a beautiful combination. Next slide. Please move on. Okay, that was during the training. That's our guy, Padawata, Dr. Stella Akinso. She's an authority when it comes to SRH services in Nigeria. Next slide. Please move on. That's during the training. I want to move on until we get to the monitoring. I've talked about the training. Then we had a baseline survey. Midline survey, we're going to have it very soon. Nibolade, endline survey, and every quarter, a man meeting, quarterly update meeting, project working group. Next slide. And then we have what we call the 6 monthly analysis, and then on-site supervision and data verification. Next slide. Grant ni àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ìjọba ni là ń bá ṣiṣẹ́ àṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ gbàyàn síṣẹ́ tó yẹ pé ńgbà bá parí iṣẹ́ wọn wà pé owó ti tán kọ́lùkù mọ́ lọ lé ẹ̀ a kàn kọ́ àwọn tíjọba ti gbà tó ti ń bá wọn ṣiṣẹ́ tẹ́lẹ̀ ni. So we were able to also include disability in the curriculum of the healthcare workers training institutions, which we are going to introduce to the College of Health Technology, College of Science, of Nursing and Midwifery, as well as the Nursing Department of University of Ibadan, for them to use it to train their students. So that we can sustain the intervention. Next slide. Next slide. Achieve success without these people. The Primary Health Care Board has been very, very, very instrumental to our success, and the relevant government ministries and agencies. So we are happy to declare that Oyo State, under the leadership of His Excellency, Engineer Oluseyi Makinde, is a fertile ground for development partners to invest and reap bountifully in the form of improved welfare and development of the good people of Oyo State. Next slide. So these are our contact details. We are very active from our website to our social media handles, Instagram, beat our chest and say that we know what we are doing at Plan Foundation. Next slide. Finally, the lady holding up the camera on the phone there, that's if was saying we get our advocacy. Stand up for recognition. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Please put your hands together for Mr. Obatunde Oladapo. Thank you so much for that insightful section.
Well, thank you very much. We'll be coordinating now. I think before I give the microphone to the chairman, agency, he has been with us up till now. He has been supportive. And for that, Motijeki, they are one of our major speakers here. The JDBC that we have been with by only tomorrow. Eba mi pàtẹ́wọ́ fún bàbá. Dioto. This time tomorrow we'll be with him for the special spot. You are welcome, sir. Eshego, Executive Assistant to the Governor on admin. You have the floor, sir.
All right, thank you so much. Once again, result. Please put your hands together for Dr. Chief Dr. Sanusi. Just a few days ago. Okay, over to you, Mr. Chairman, sir.
Thank you very much, distinguished members. Let me also commend the last speaker, Mr. And I believe that every one of us have listened carefully and attentively to his presentation. I just want to point out a few of the things that he mentioned for our consideration before we take some contribution from the members of the note. Is ignorance is not an excuse. One of the critical challenges that face people living with disability is facilities, healthcare workers to their sexual health. And in this presentation, our presenter open our understanding to a few of the things that we need to know towards promoting access to sexual and reproductive services. Particularly very happy with the fact that many of the things that he has been doing, he has not been, depending on able-bodied. Their support, their assistance, their intervention are people who themselves know the challenges, made people with disabilities to be part of all initiatives and interventions that his organization has been able to work together with the government towards delivering. And so for that, to be part of whatever policy, part of whatever initiative that they are coming up with. I also observed that even though generally there seem to be some biases against people living with people with disability, but the women among the issues of sexual health. And what his organization has been able to do is to also provide intervention towards enhancing women with disabilities such that they will be able to enjoy health facility, live healthy sexual lives despite the challenges that they face. We all know that there is the biological need for us to have romantic relationship aspect that is being looked into. Of note also is the fact that his organization, working in partnership with the Oyo State government, has ensured that training, human capital development, training, because it's very important, training healthcare workers, people who will be able to provide and promote the health of people with disabilities. He said they've trained like 30 across 15 primary healthcare centers, and I believe so much that the contact the various sites, and also in the course of this program, so that every one of us here, we will be able to know, in the event that I have a sexual related kind of challenge, assist you towards overcoming that challenge, you will know where to go to. So that is also highly commendable. A manual that can talk you through, give you the knowledge, give you the exposure on what you need to do towards enhancing, we've also been doing, towards just promoting the welfare, the health care of people with disabilities. These various state actors through our various institutions, primary health care board. So we want to also appreciate the fact that Oyo State has been judged viable ground for partnership, for development partners to come and collaborate with us. So thank you very much, Mr. Oladapo, for your presentation. I would want to take one or two comments from close. Members of the I table, you're welcome, sir, our Deputy Speaker. If there is any comment that we want to make with respect to the last presentation, please, this is the opportunity for you. The presentation was with respect to promoting access to sexual and reproductive services to people with disabilities. Okay. Maybe the Nigerian police force would like to say something. Representative of the Commissioner of Police. I'm sure you listened to the presentation.
Thank you, sir. To come out, diseases or what have you, you should be confident enough to meet professionals that can help you. Because if you look at the stigmatization, you are costing yourself your own life. It means you are personally killing yourself. You have to stand up. One thing is, who has specializations in these areas, help you attend to them. Tell them how you feel. Tell them how long it has been. You know, if you keep denying yourself the opportunity to be healed or to be taken care of, nobody will come and knock on your door and say, I feel like this and this is wrong with you. You need to come to me and say, I've been feeling like this, I've been having some issues in my private part, and what have you. So it depends on you coming out to seek help. And this is a very nice platform that has offered you the avenue to come out and say, see, I need help, come and rescue me. And your state government is saying we are going to partner with these organizations to provide you with adequate facilities to get help. That's my contribution. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. That is very, very important. Please put your hands together for the people that, because of the stigmatization, because of the fact that people tend to, we tend to keep them to ourselves. And if it is not treated on time, it could actually lead to more devastating effects on our bodies. So please, don't be quiet. Don't be silent. If you observe or you notice any form of sexual or reproductive disease, seek help. Speak. Talk to the medical practitioners. And I believe that sound health, which is one of the pillars of our administration, will be delivered to everyone. Thank you.
We are here to listen to the second speaker, to Losi Soke, and we want to listen to her. And when Baba Dr. Sanusi was going, he handed over that duty to the Deputy Speaker of your state, House of Assembly. Ungbatan Soro, one wole, èèyàn wa làwọn náà ẹ pàtẹ́wọ́ fún Deputy Speaker. Àtẹ́wọ́ Deputy Speaker. To this reproductive health and for my brother, please, ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ sílẹ̀ kẹ́ mú wá sí secretariat níbí báyìí. We give to him, and forever, you are forever with us since the Yomitutu 1.0, and we really appreciate you for coming around. It's an àtẹ́wọ́ wọn dà.
Ẹ jẹ́ ká fún ọ ní àtẹ́wọ́ tó rinlẹ̀ bí ọ̀wàrà.
Àtẹ́wọ́ wọn dà.
Nothing about
Jerry, ibi tí adé yìí, ibi tí a ti fẹ́ sọ nípa ọ̀rọ̀ òfin ni. Tó sì jẹ́ kí gbogbo wa, I want all of us to please, Dr. Isaiah, please, this is the most important time for us. Ẹ jẹ́ kí a farabalẹ̀ gidi gan. The chairman is right here. I'm going to coordinate this section myself, and we will read the salutation of our speaker. After that, the chairman will talk. Our own dear deputy speaker will talk. He will sit down with other honorable members. We have other honorable members here, and more are still coming because they are forever with us. So we appreciate all honorable members. So this is the period, this is the time that I need the most here in this hall, because we need you. And I know you are going to deliver all these things to the table of the right honorable speaker. I want Mrs. Folashade to come and read the salutation of the speaker. Please, after the salutation, before the speaker come on board, the deputy speaker will speak and will sit down and listen to our dear sister. JDBC has been with us from the beginning, and I respect them so much. And we're going to be together, we will implement together, we will fight together, and we achieve this thing together. Atawa JDBC da.
Thank you very much, sir.
Please, the salutation. Okay. The salutation of Mrs. Nike Ibitara. Please. Folakeda.
She's coming. Over to you.
Please, please, please. Information, Mrs. Shade, salutation of Mrs. Ibitara Ẹ̀yìnláfẹ̀kẹ́ bá wa ká torí ohun yín dùn. Ẹ pàtẹ́wọ́ fún àǹtí wa tí wọ́n bá wa ṣiṣẹ́ látàárọ̀ láti Ministry of Information. Àtẹ́wọ́ wọn dà. Àtẹ́wọ́ wọn dà. Mrs. Bangboshe, we're waiting. All right, let's go.
All right. Are you ready? Okay. Well,
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Here to read the citation of Mrs. Adenike Ibitara. Mrs. Adenike Ibitara is a lawyer with 22 years post-call experience, a graduate of law from the University of Jos, and she's also the Chief of Staff of Justice for Development and Peace Commission, Ibadan. She is a chartered mediator and conciliator, a development professional with certification in projection management and certification in labor studies from Michael Imodu Institute of Labor Studies and certification in data analytics. She is a disability rights Ibadan. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me with a resounding round of applause as I welcome to the podium this afternoon, Mrs. Adenike Ibitara. Thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank you very much. The chairman, okay, I think the chairman, you have a few words before I.
You can go ahead. The chairman will react.
The chairman of this session and deputy speaker of Oyo State House of Assembly and all the other members of the high table, good afternoon. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Ekason, Ekwataro, let me congratulate you on the celebration of this International Day. For you can see that we are growing in leaps and bounds. I think under this administration, persons with disabilities have really enjoyed a lot of upliftment, if I'm correct. I also congratulate especially Barrister Adekombi, our partner, our friend, who has continued to push forward issues of persons with disability in Oyo State and in Nigeria generally. So we've been here for a long time. So yeki gogo amushlo ni ati lọ́jọ́ wájú. The reality of is that we must all accept is that disability is part of human existence. It knows no color, no race, religion, or age, or gender. Issues of disability is so important that they affect every one of us. And like the last speaker said, you can either acquire disability later in life due to age, or it can occur due to accident. So it's something that affects all of us. It is important to know that disability rights are human rights. Thus, this conference is coming at the right time, especially with the establishment of the Agency for Persons with Disability in Oyo State, with Emmanuel Adekombi Esquire as the first Director General. I congratulate the agency for putting this event together. Please, let's give a round of applause to the agency. Now, what has disability rights got to do with social justice? We live in a society where it seems as if everyone has to struggle for what they need. It's like for you to survive in Nigeria, you have to really struggle. It doesn't just, nothing comes to you so easily. So the generality of the citizens don't always get what is due to them just on a platter of why we are here today. Now, according to the World Report on Disability, there are estimated 27 million Nigerians with disabilities as of 2020. So we don't have the figure for the current year. People with disability have the same rights as persons without disabilities. However, persons with disabilities are more vulnerable due to the disability they have, which may restrict their movement or activity. Now, the topic is talking about social justice. How can we ensure that persons with disability enjoy their rights and fully participate in the social system in an enabling environment? It is in this context that social justice becomes the vehicle that drives persons with disabilities to where they need to be. Constitutionality of social justice. Now, Section 14 of the and subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution provides that the Federal Republic of Nigeria shall be a state based on the principles of democracy and social justice. Therefore, social justice is not just a concept, but the very principle upon which persons in a society having equal access and rights to common wealth and opportunity. So it's saying that there is no distinction, no discrimination. All of us are equal, and we all also have equal access to the wealth of Nigeria. Furthermore, Section 16(1)(b) of the Constitution states that the state shall, within the context of the ideals and objectives for which provisions are made in this Constitution, control the national economy in such manner as to secure maximum welfare, freedom, and happiness of every citizen on the basis of social justice and equality of status and opportunity. So the Constitution makes provision for all of us, whether we are with disability or we are without disability. So your guarantee to social justice, your rights to social justice is already guaranteed in the Constitution of Nigeria, and we all need to be aware of this. Gbogbo ala láti mọ̀ pé àti jẹ̀gbádùn gbogbo nǹkan tó wà lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà, òfin Nàìjíríà 1999 Constitution ó ti fún wa ní ẹ̀tọ́ yìí, a dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ lò ó. Let me go to what we really need to do to ensure that you enjoy this social justice and that you have equal opportunities to all the resources in
Speaker,
Nigeria and in particular.
Sorry for the interruption, ma, please. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ dákun a bẹ̀ wá lórúkọ Ọlọ́run. Bàbá tí ń fi atapanu, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ dákun ẹ jẹ́ ká dákẹ́ ká dẹ̀ máa note gbogbo wọn.
Mo rò oúnjẹ yẹn dùn ni.
Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ dákun ẹ má jẹ́ ká pariwo, please.
Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ oúnjẹ ò kì í sọ̀rọ̀.
Wọ́n ní àbí ká dá oúnjẹ dúró ni. Sí ká dá oúnjẹ dúró náà ní oúnjẹ tí wà lórí tébù kò ṣe dá dúró ọ̀gá mi. Ẹ jẹ́ ká bá oúnjẹ lọ, but ẹ má jẹ́ ká pariwo, ẹ jẹ́ máa fọkàn bá nǹkan tó ń bá wa sọ lọ. Thank you very much.
Ẹ jẹ́ ká
Over to
fetí
you,
sí
sir.
ẹ jọ̀ọ́. Ẹ ṣé. Nǹkan tó yẹ ká kọ́kọ́ mú ṣe ó ti wà ńlẹ̀. Mo dẹ̀ a ní àǹfààní tó pọ̀ lọ́yọ̀ state. Mi mọ̀ nípa àwọn ìpínlẹ̀ míì, ṣùgbọ́n lọ́yọ̀ state yìí ó dàbí pé ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn àkàndá wọ́n mú lọ́kùnkúndùn. Á dẹ̀ da ká mú lò. Let's take advantage of this opportunity. Now, there must be legal framework for persons with disability to enjoy the rights and opportunities that exist. And that legal framework is already existing. There's the Disability Act 2018, has been said by the first speaker. And in Oyo State, there's also a law for persons with disability, which has established the Agency for Persons with Disability. So that foundation is already laid for us to thrive, for us to grow, for us to develop. And as persons with disability, we need to be aware of this. But like the last speaker talked about, implementation. Báwo la ṣe mú òfin wọ̀nyí lò? Ṣé a ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ lórí ẹ̀ ni àbí wọ́n kàn ó sì wà núwèé? Màá dẹ̀ kọ́kọ́ béèrè pé àwa mélòó gan-an tá a wà níbí báyìí tá a jẹ́ àkàndá láti rí òfin Ọ̀yọ́ State tó sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ọ̀rọ̀ wa? Àwa mélòó láti rí? Ẹ já náà wọ́n sókè. Ṣé rí i pé iṣẹ́ pọ̀ fún wa? Barrister, the agency has a lot of work to do, making the law available. Tẹ́yìn fúnra yín ò bá mọ ẹ̀tọ́ yín, báwo lẹ ṣe fẹ́ jà fún? Báwo lẹ ṣe fẹ́ béèrè fún ẹ̀tọ́ yín? So the first thing is that law must be made available in as maybe English and Yoruba and in Braille. It's very important. That law must be made available. Táwa gangan ò bá mọ̀, a lè béèrè fún. Ká tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní sọ nípa gbogbo àwọn tó kù ní àwùjọ wa. Implementing the existing law. The law cannot be effective if not implemented. I once again congratulate Oyo State government for establishing the Oyo State Agency for Persons with Disability, which is expected to drive the process of implementation of the law for PWDs in Oyo State. Section 6 of this law, which provides for the functions of the agency, lists from subsection 1 to 19 the functions of the Agency for Persons with Disability. And so the work for the agency has already been marked out for it. So awareness creation is important. awareness creation amongst the disability community and the members of the public, those who are supposed to implement the law. Wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ mọ kí lòfin yìí sọ. Ìyálọ́jà ni o, àwọn báǹkì ni o, àwọn ilé ìwòsàn wa ni o, àwọn ilé ìwé ni o, gbogbo èèyàn ló láti mọ̀ pé àwọn oníṣẹ́ aládàáni ni o àti iṣẹ́ ìjọba wọ́n láti mọ nǹkan tí òfin sọ àti àwọn ẹ̀tọ́ tó fún àwọn àkàndá ẹ̀dá. Empowerment of the newly established agency for PWD in Oyo State. The agency needs to be technically and economically empowered through training and funds allocation. The law provides for interagency collaboration to enhance its functions. These partner agencies should ensure that they comply with the provisions of the law concerning their roles in the agency and make available required personnel. There are persons from specific ministries and agencies that are supposed to be part of this agency. If there should be no delay in those concerned ministries to provide the required personnel. Education for people with disability. We are talking about how do we create that, and Evangelist Olukayode talked about access. Access is not about ramp alone. It's not about, smooth road. It's also putting in place situations and circumstances that will make life easier for persons with disability. One of the ways, the very foundation, is education. Now, there has been advocacy for inclusive education amongst, for people with disability. It is strongly recommended that the education policy be reviewed to ensure effectiveness as it relates to the education of PWDs in Oyo State. It is recommended that the administration of special schools, this is something that JDPC considered, that there are special schools in Oyo State, and we know the conditions of most of these schools. We are recommending and asking the appropriate authorities to look into it, to put the administration of these special schools under the Agency for Persons with Disability. That way, this thing that hits, affects them directly. So they will be able to put in the passion and the dedication required for managing and administering the special schools that are established to cater for persons with disability in Oyo State. This really needs to be looked at. If there's need to amend the law to accommodate this, let's do it. So that the Ministry of Education will now become a supervisory ministry over matters of the special schools. But the direct administration can be handled by the agency, including the financial administration, so that where there's need for renovation, the agency knows it will do that. Inclusive education also includes the issue of the curriculum of schools. There is no reason why we talk about Yoruba being a compulsory subject in primary and secondary school. We can also make sign language a compulsory subject in both primary and secondary schools, so that by the time any child goes through education in Oyo State, he or she can communicate at least reasonably with any person with hearing impairment in Oyo State. This is one of the other strong things or recommendations we are making with regards to accessibility, so that our children don't look at the deaf as if they are aliens from outer space, but they are on. Our curriculum should include certain subjects or topics on disability. For example, there are many vocabularies used in the disability communities, and there are some that are derogatory that are not used amongst them. Orú àwọn bá ṣe ń pè àwọn àkàndá, orú àwọn títí dé grammar, kán bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní kọ́ nílé ìwé, ká lè mú fún wọn ní ẹ̀tọ́ wọn bó ṣe tọ́ àti bó ṣe yẹ. So we are recommending that the curriculum of schools should also include the issue of disability. How do you address someone who is blind? How do you address someone who has maybe sensory disability and all of that? So that we are not calling a person with disability a disabled person. We know the right words, we know the right vocabulary right from the early age.
ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ bá wa dánu dúró ní ìṣẹ́jú kan náà. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ariwo tá à ń pa yìí kò sáǹfààní kankan tá a fẹ́ gbà níbẹ̀ because nǹkan tá a torí ẹ̀ wà ń bí ni pé ká get feedback so that wọ́n á lè bá wa tébù gbogbo nǹkan tó bá sọ ń bí fúnjọba ṣùgbọ́n tá a bá ti ń pariwo tí a gbọ́ nǹkan tó ń wí ní méjì tó yẹ ká fún wọn please for God's sake ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ dákun ẹ jẹ́ ká dákẹ́ rọ́rọ́ ká dẹ̀ máa fetí bá wọn lọ́mọ yín bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ máa tẹ̀síwájú mà.
Thank you. Access to health care. Let me at this point recognize and appreciate the Oyo State Health Insurance Agency for the inclusivity of the scheme, which is giving persons with disability in Oyo State opportunity to access free basic health care. Mi wọ́n àwa mélòó láti fi orúkọ wa sílẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ọ̀ṣà. Àwa mélòó láti ṣe yẹn? Ṣé rí? Ṣá pọ̀ ṣá? Ṣé gbogbo àwa àkọ́tán? For the whole of Oyo State.
ẹ jẹ́ á lọ forúkọ sílẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ọ̀ṣà agency wa ò disturb yín o ẹ máa lọ sọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀ṣà ẹ lọ forúkọ yín lẹ̀ o.
Ṣé a ti gbọ́ o?
ẹ gbọ́.
Ilé-iṣẹ́ the primary health care level, I want to encourage those in charge of the recruitment to also think about employing maybe those in the administrative section, persons who are knowledgeable in sign language or in matters of persons with disability, so that our health facilities can really be inclusive, so that the accessibility to health care that we are talking about can really be present for persons with disability. Please, let us also note this.
àtẹ́wọ́ wọn dà o ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká stop oúnjẹ for now àwọn èèyàn ò fẹ́ gbọ́ àfóúnjẹ yìí náà ṣá àdẹ̀sọ́ pé oúnjẹ wa ò tiwa kẹ́ ní sùúrù àwọn akọ́ tiwa lọ sábò tá a bá ti tán ni o ariwo ti pọ̀ jù akọ́ ti lọ fáwọn ará sábò.
Thank you. Law enforcement and security. How many persons with disabilities are employed into administrative positions in our law enforcement agencies? For example, the representative of the Commissioner of Police is here and I'm happy with his comments. But to what extent, if a person who is deaf comes into our station or a person who is deaf is a suspect, how do we communicate with that suspect? How do we manage the process? If there is nobody in the entire, maybe Oyo State Police Command, that can even interpret in sign language and communicate with the deaf. So we need to bring it down and make it more realistic. It's not just paperwork anymore. It's making it realistic. How can we truly ensure social justice and ensure reports? To what extent are the officers there trained or aware of how to manage or handle such a person? We need to really bring it alive. And it does not take so much. It's little things that we can do. Trainings can be carried out. If the police command wants, the training can be done at area command level or division level, where the agency will organize trainings for these different sectors, so that it becomes all inclusive. Road safety, OITMA, all the law enforcement agencies, civil defense. Let's begin to look at how do we incorporate, so that the issues of persons with disability is not an afterthought. It's not later, okay, I want to. No. From the very onset, we make it part of our processes and our plans. Access to justice. The justice system in the state must consciously take steps to make justice accessible to PWDs in the state. Part of the staff should be persons who can interpret for the deaf parties in a registrars of court. When parties come to the court and want to assign that registrar to come to court on the day that matter is coming up, and he or she can interpret. We don't need to go to the space to find solutions to some of these things. It's just about being deliberate and conscious. In College of Education special lawyer to provide one or for interpretation. Such persons can also play that role. Political participation. Political parties should ensure that they have percentage of elective posts reserved here. That we should not leave Barrister Adekombi alone in the political space. Let us in those political parties. And the more we are present, the more we push forward our case. Àwọn ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú. Ká má kàn jókòó ká fi Barrister Adékànbí nìkan sílẹ̀. Káwa náà darapọ̀ mọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ òṣèlú ọ̀rọ̀ tiwa o. Aláwọn aṣojú tó máa sọ̀rọ̀ fún wa.
Should
be equipped to provide Braille documents for MDAs that require documents in Braille. Issue kò jẹ́ pé something special ni Braille machine máa jẹ́. Ó yẹ kó jẹ́ part of the equipment. Once document tá bá ṣe òfin printing press náà ṣe jáde ní Braille fáwọn àwọn tó afọ́jú Braille machine yìí ọ̀run ló wà láti lọ sọ́run láti lọ mú wá. Ẹ jẹ́ kó jẹ́ ara nǹkan tá máa ronú pàápàá fẹ́ rà láti fi ṣiṣẹ́. Transportation. There's need to consciously provide access to transportation, even in in the traffic generally. Parking spaces for persons with disabilities who drive. I'm sure we don't have that. Go to our public parking spaces. There are no results. It's as if they are not amongst us, they are not present, and they don't need to be provided for. Traffic lights that is disability compliant, bus stops that are disability compliant, vehicles that accommodate mobility aids should also be factored and be provided for. And these are things we can plan for. Every year, a percentage of some of these things can be done, and we'll get there. In conclusion, the responsibility of creating a more equitable, and so we cannot afford to look the other way when the rights of people with disability are being abused intentionally or unintentionally. I also want to go back to the issue of employment, especially the law provides, the disability law of your state also provides that any place of work that attends to members of the public should ensure accessibility and also employ personnel who can attend to persons with disability, a deaf person who is a customer of a bank. So these are all that we need to pay attention to. And I sincerely appreciate the organizers for inviting me, and I thank you all for your attention.
Please, once again, put your hand, Honorable Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Muhammad Fadeyi. Àtẹ́wọ́ yìí kò ṣe ti Deputy Speaker.
Abẹ́ mọ̀túnmọ̀ Deputy Speaker ni. Àwọn tí wọ́n máa bá wa ṣòfin rèé. Àtẹ́wọ́ wọn dà. Ariwo wọn dà.
Ẹ ṣe dùn láti assignment máa kọ́kọ́ ṣe ní ọ̀sẹ̀ yìí ni torí àṣẹ ti Canada dé ni. So Abidinda.
Ọ̀nà ara la pé o.
Màá fún ọ ní query o.
Gbogbo ọ̀nà ara la pé o.
Edward Adébọ̀ Ògúndóyin. Let me congratulate all stability. Adúpẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run pé ó dàbí pé oúnjẹ ti ń wọ̀ wá lára díẹ̀. Fi ìfẹ́ rẹ ṣọ́ wa o, ohun tí ó pani lẹ́kùn ò nínú. Bàbá lẹ̀ sí wa ò bàbá rere. Ẹ ṣé.
Ọlọ́run mi dábọ̀.
Ó pọ̀ yẹ́yẹ́.
Ó pọ̀ bí bàbá.
Once in a while you need to shake up the food that you have eaten. Ní bọ́dún lójú ọmọ ọ̀rọ̀dún adúpẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run adúpẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run. Lórúkọ ọ̀gá mi Right Honourable Débọ̀ Ògúndóyin, mo tún kí yín lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí i. Jábọ̀ gbogbo ntáwa náà ń ṣe nílé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin in ensuring that people living with disability in the state are recognized and the bill ta pass lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta yìí tí governor dẹ̀ ti assent sí. I'm very sure the agency has a law to establish the agency and safeguard them against all forms of discrimination and what have you. The Oyo State House of Assembly took it upon itself, though it's an executive bill, but we took it seriously, and one house, one house ẹjọ́.
Ẹjọ́ ẹ dákun tárí oyin bá ti pọ̀ jù a máa gbó jẹ́ kó wájú yín ni o.
Barrister, what's your
Ẹjọ́ ẹ
name, madam?
dákun ẹjọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká lísì sí honourable deputy speaker ẹjọ́.
Barrister Adenike made mention of something. Ó dẹ̀ wà lára tó ń bá wa jà ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Òfin wà lóríṣiríṣi lọ́tún lósì, but àwọn yan wa ò mọ̀ tó ní láti ṣe pẹ̀lú physically challenged people. Mélòó ni wa ló mọ̀ pé òfin gan exist? Mélòó ni wa ló mọ̀ pé ẹ ti ní commission titi yín agency ti ní jẹ́ pé ẹ̀yin physically challenged lẹ níbẹ̀? Mélòó ni wa ló mọ̀ ń pẹ́? Ẹ mọ̀. So ìdí tá a fi ní láti farabalẹ̀ gbọ́n tá à ń sọ lélẹ́yìí.
Ìyẹn la fi ní kẹ́ tẹ́tí bẹ̀lẹ̀ jẹ́ kẹ́ gbọ́ nǹkan tó ń sọ.
Now she has talked about social justice. Nípa kí ni physically challenged person tó bá lọ sí police station ni tó bá fẹ́ fi ẹjọ́ sùn báwo ló ṣe yẹ kán ṣe dá lóhùn. Àwọn òfin wà lórí gbogbo nǹkan báyìí báyìí. Ilé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin àwa ń gbìyànjú ẹ̀yin lẹ ń tẹ́ ẹ bá fẹ́ ẹ̀yin lẹ máa gbé wá lórí gbígbà tá a jókòó sí ITV mú bá àwọn dáàdì yìí sọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n sọ iye ìjà táwọn ti jà lórí pé táwọn bá fẹ́ páàkì mọ́tò ní public areas, am I correct? Tóbi pé UCH láti create special parking space fún àwọn pé o gbogbo public space o nínú secretariat káàtì ẹ̀ kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ́n nílé láti ń ṣe kí ni láti ń kẹ́sọ̀ ròde káàtì ẹ̀ kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní secretariat yìí ná ká kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ́fíìsì gọ́vnà wa àbí Barrister Adékànbí bá ń bọ̀ kó máa páàkì mọ́tò sí ó dáa àbí ò dáa bẹ́ẹ̀ nílé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin níbí náà ó yẹ káwa náà ní special parking space fún physically challenged people torí lè láti ń ṣe tí kinní kan bá dákẹ́.
Ara rẹ̀ á bá dákẹ́ ni.
So ẹ̀yin lẹ máa gbé wá àwa ó dẹ̀ ṣe àsọdòfin fún yín. So nídìí èyí then Barrister Adékànbí please I don't know how you can do it but God will give you the enablement. We need a radio program. I need the program lórí rédíò àwọn tó máa present program yẹn ó dáa bí ó dáa ẹ fara láti fún máa dára wa lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ lórí ìgbé ayé physically challenged people ká máa bára sọ̀rọ̀ báwo ló ṣe yẹ ká ṣe báwo ni ó ṣe yẹ ká ṣe láwùjọ. This will go a long way in sensitizing the public and I can assure you you will even àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ jùlọ. And Madam talked about political participation. This is very important. Chair ní National Assembly. Mo ti rí physically challenged person with a blind honourable member nílé ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin ní Abuja. Àbánisímbẹ̀ ẹ má jẹ́ ká kóyan ara wa kéré kò sẹ́ni tọ́lọ́run ò ṣe fún àfẹni tó bá ní tòun ò tó ẹni tó sì dára bí Ọlọ́run tó dára bí eléwé ló dára bí aláṣọ. Ọlọ́run á gbàdúrà. Once again I congratulate you on today's celebration. God bless you all.
Àtẹ́wọ́ wọn dà o. Before kó tó di pé a gba ìbéèrè bíi méjì mẹ́ta látọ̀dọ̀ deputy chief deputy speaker kí wọ́n tó lọ àjọ máa cut cake kó tó di pa fi wọ́n sílẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n ìbéèrè láti orí tébù yìí méjì àbí mẹ́ta ṣé mo ní ọ̀dà.
Àwọn ta ní kí wọ́n bá wa gba àwọn ìbéèrè yẹn kó jọ kó bá kó wá síwájú. Now we are going to do the cutting of the cake now please.
Àwọn tí wọ́n máa bá wa cut cake Wale Canada you are not going to go asáré ṣe yẹn fast cutting of cake the deputy speaker will lead the cutting of the cake then Evangelist Olukayode the chairman and Funke Adegoke Mrs. Ibitara JDBC join then representative of the deputy speaker Deputy Chief of Staff, enjoying. All the cluster heads, and enjoying. Some of the cake. My brother, Jide Boladuro DG, get him board. Join the cutting of that cake, please. And all the committee members, management staff of our Akara Oyibo, Ti Agbesile, please, cutting off anniversary cake 2024 in F1 Jazz. Speaker, Deputy Speaker, the member of our table. So, one came in now, King John Shugban, spelling of love, because all we need as persons with disability is your love, your care. So we spell love and we will cut the code. Are we ready? Shadi Bahamu, can you talk to my cake sibe? Ìwọ̀n ìbá fọ́jú la fọ́jú ó ṣe náà. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má ṣì mí dárí o. Ègbé ni fún ẹni tó ṣe afọ́jú lọ́nà. It's time for the cooking of cake. Are we ready? Ready? L-O-V-E. Happy International Day of Persons with Disability. Thank you. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ jẹ́ kí mi náà sáré báwọn ya fọ́tò kan tó lọ o.
Àrí o, àríṣẹ́ rẹ láyé wa. Àrí o, bí a tilẹ̀ kéré, ọ̀fàánú gbà wá. Ó ṣe o, lóore. Àrọ́wọ́ rẹ láyé wa. Àrí o, àrí o. Deputy Speaker, olóríire, àwọn bàbá wọ́n ń bá wa yọ. Àrọ́wọ́ rẹ̀ láyé wa. Àrí o. Ẹ ṣé o.
Ẹ jẹ́ ká jókòó padà. A fẹ́ gba ìdáhùn àti béèrè. Ẹ jẹ́ ká jókòó padà, ẹ jọ̀ọ́. Yusuf, please come up.
All right. So far, so good. To hear from us, our own view about all the presentations so far. Nísìnyí báyìí, ó ti tó fún wa láti ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ẹ jẹ́ kí gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n mú béèrè wá, a máa ka ìbéèrè wọn sínsìn síwájú. Dẹ̀ kó tó nípa máa ka béèrè wọn, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ a jẹ́ ká farabalẹ̀ kí gbogbo wa jókòó, àfẹ́ ariwo, kọ́rọ̀ yìí fi lè yé wa yékéyéké. Ṣé mọ̀ pé ìkọ̀kọ̀ ara nǹkan tó sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan ni pé wọ́n béèrè pé sa ní agency, àwọn míì kò túmọ̀ pa ní agency, kò dẹ̀ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. So nǹkan tó dẹ̀ ní jẹ́ ká mọ̀ ni pé ìgbà tó máa ń ṣàyàn àwọn important information tí a tẹ́tí, so ó ṣeé ṣe ká mix out. So now I want the very first question. Canada, please. Your attention is needed here, please. Wale, Canada, please. Our guest speaker, please, we have some question for you. Please, are you ready for us? Engineer your Oyedele from NCE Ibadan. He said, I expect the guest speaker to inform the House through among persons with disability. Of course, what percentage
Of course, what percentage is the illiterate persons with disability as equal access with illiterate? I didn't get the question right, but I think what he's trying to say is I want to know the percentage of the illiterate persons with disability who are illiterate in your state. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ dákun ẹ jẹ́ ká farabalẹ̀ ẹ má jẹ́ ká pariwo. Oúnjẹ àárọ̀ lélẹ́yìí kò sóúnjẹ ọ̀sán o ẹ má jẹ́ ká mistake ẹ jọ̀ọ́. Wọ́n kàn ní ká fi eléyìí kọ́ panu náà ni. So oúnjẹ wà lẹ́bìbà ẹ jẹ́ ká farabalẹ̀ kò sẹ́ni tó máa kúrò bí ilé ní láì ní jẹun gidi sínú. Ìgbóhùnsí ìmọ̀bùṣe o kò sí pé ìmọ̀ pé kò sí àlè jẹ́ sí o kò sí pé ìmọ̀ pé àlófin lọ́yọ̀ state kò yẹ kí irú ẹ̀ ká máa gbọ́ lẹ́nu wa. So ìkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ni pé ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ lórúkọ Ọlọ́run ẹ jẹ́ ká dákun ká farabalẹ̀ ká jókòó ká tẹ́tí bẹ̀lẹ̀ jẹ́ ká dẹ̀ máa gbọ́ ìbéèrè ìdáhùn sáwọn ìbéèrè tí à ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ àwọn onímọ̀ tí wọ́n dá wa lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ dákun. So gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ti ń sọ lọ nǹkan tí ẹni kí ni percentage wọn lọ́yọ̀ state. Ms. Bitara ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ìjẹ́ ẹ lè bá wa dáhùn ìbéèrè yìí. So ìbéèrè kejì. Thank you for the presentation. You spoke largely on accessibility, which is indeed a broad and important concept. However, I'd like to draw your attention to education program. At my academy, we focus on IEP as personalized evaluation plan design to address the unique educational needs of individuals with disability. Especially, there is no established IEP system across the entire West Africa. So the president wants to know if them across in your state in particular, but he has let us know that in Africa, currently in the West Africa, there is no such. So he wants to know if there is any plan on this particular issue. Please, you can attend.
First and foremost, I would like to stress that when we talk about gathering data, we are all in Nigeria here. And even, I think the last one we took was about 2006. So, but like I said, that we are moving into a new era. And I believe now that with the inception of this particular department, henceforth, at least first and foremost, we'll tend to get the people that are having or living with disabilities in this particular local government level, where each and every local government has their own representative.
Rò pé ó yẹ kí á tẹ́tí sí ìdáhùn ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ dákun àforúkọ Ọlọ́run bẹ̀ wá.
tó bá yá ń sìn ẹ ní emergency ẹ là ṣe program ariwo lẹ tún pa yìí o bóyá ká close ká máa lọ ẹ jọ̀ọ́ let us be careful here. This segment is very important. They have asked us to pray. They have asked us to do all of this. We are putting all these things in.
Thank you.
So I believe that there has been an ongoing registration of people, even up to the local government level. It's a gradual process, but right now I know that we don't still have a specific number of people that are illiterates, that are people living with disabilities right now. But I'm very sure that we will get to that, in the sense that the agencies, because now they are standing on their tripod, they are stand alone and physically focused on people living with disabilities in this particular state. I'm very in the system whereby they have each and every local government being represented. But now it is being done. So that means that we are making progress. With that, I believe that as months rolls into years, we'll be able to have the specific numbers of everybody in the local government, and then who are literate and who wants to get educated or wants to get into any form of acquiring any kind of skills or something. So it's a gradual process, and we're going to get there. Thank you.
Mr. Bichara, do you want to attend to the question? Okay, I hope that answers your question. So, he's asking the speaker that considering the fast potential perception that they are best suited for the role in. The question is, what are your thoughts on this stereotype? Before we move to that is number one question. I think this question is directly to the agency, and this man want to know if there is a dedicated email from the. I think Barrister Adekambi will handle this when it will handle this one. So, and I also want to announce to us that the law, disability law, tí wọ́n fún àwọn kọ̀ọ̀kan níbí ó wà lórí wẹ́bsáìtì. Màá gbé microphone fún barrister nsìn, wọ́n á dárúkọ wẹ́bsáìtì yẹn fún wa, email, àtẹni tó bá tún wà ní in charge of parasport bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹ ti fẹ́ mọ̀. Over to you, my oga.
Well, thank you. Well, it's been a very busy day, but Owote Kashe, in charge of the sport, was here. And like I been today, but like I said, the deputy governor just told us here yesterday that our operational vehicles will be delivered to us before the end of the year. And so nǹkan tó fa limitation wa ó pọ̀ díẹ̀. Ọdún kan àtoṣù mélòó la lò yẹn, oṣù mẹ́rin la ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ lò. Parasport will take up. Tí ó bá take up right now, ó máa take up next administration tó bá dé. Agency is there for life. For life. I say for life. Let everybody say for life. That's the true confession. I will do mine. By the grace of God, we try our best now. So Parasport will come. That I'm sure. So fún wa, iṣẹ́ pọ̀ lọ́wọ́ wa gan. Lórí website wa, ẹ bá ti wọ Ọ̀yọ́ Disability Agency, ẹ fi sórí Google, á gbé yín lọ bẹ̀. Google Map tún lè gbé yín láti lé yín. What's office wa oysapd.ng.org. Ọ̀yọ́ Disability Agency. Ẹ lọ wo law yẹn. They brought break copy here yesterday. You can see Rosalind and collect the break copy of both principle and amendment of that law. Ó wà níbí látàná. So, èèyàn tó bá nílò braille, more braille copy of the law can call me. Then we'll give to the person free of any charge. So please, ẹ jẹ́ ká mọ̀ pé pẹ̀lú what we have lọ́wọ́ yìí, ó ti tó wa láti lè jẹ́ ká establish ara wa, but one step at. Thank you.
Ẹ jẹ́ ká fún wọn látẹ̀wọ́. Wọ́n ti sọ address website yẹn fún wa. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lo àǹfààní mi gbóhùn sí bẹ́ẹ̀ yìí mọ́ bùṣe o. Ní báyìí, máa gbé microphone lé speaker wa lọ láti bá a dáhùn ìbéèrè yẹn. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon once again. Yeah, the question being asked is that what was our thoughts on the stereotypes that is being melted out to people with disability, that in the areas of banking and technology and industries, that it seems as if this is where the aspect of accessibility comes in. There's this disparity, if you allow me to use that word. There's this disparity. But that is where, you know, in the course of my lecture, I was talking about access tech, you know, that they started making provisions to program, they started tailoring, you know, people with disabilities with different kinds of technologies, modern technologies that are coming up, where you see people that have challenged with hearing impairment, the e-technology to aid and enhance their talents. What we should be asking for at this point is how to assess such innovations and technologies. It is not how we have been dragged back or the way we are seeing ourselves that the society is looking at us. It is the way now that the way forward. That was why I was saying that this particular gathering, it is for the future. We have seen what we have done right behind us. We see where we are, our existential position right now. The next one is how to plan for us and the people that are coming, the generation that are coming behind us. So it is now left, yes, for the private sectors to give them more access and then to help people like us to get into such places where they will learn and then they will transfer such knowledge to other people. By doing this, we will be able to compete in different kind of sectors of the economy. We'll be able to contribute our own quota into the different sectors of life of the economy of this nation. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you for this, this response. And I also want to add that in most cases, we can create opportunity for ourselves in all these industries that we want to be part of. Thank you. Mrs. Bitara, do you want to add to that?
Do you have the technological knowledge, the skill that you want to, use? You first acquire that skill and that knowledge. And then you don't have to look for paid employment where you are in-house. There are also many virtual opportunities for working remotely, maybe from your house, and you are in the tech profession. So first, identify the technology or the knowledge you want to use. If you acquire that knowledge, and then look at what opportunities exist, whether it's in the banking or in the engineering, or whether you can work remotely from your home. So let's not have it at the back of our mind, or the mindset that we will not be employed. We can also, like the moderator said, we can also create opportunities for ourselves, market ourselves online, and then you find employment. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please put your hands together for Mr. Adekambi. A brief introduction of the person. He said, I'm a person with disability who happens to be employed in an health facility. I was not given any special aid to work with, but expected to work alongside able-bodied people. Without complaining, I felt being discriminated. What do I do to have this addressed formally so as to have an enabling working condition? So I think this person, Barrister, do you get the question right? Okay, good.
Thank you. I know the person very well. I will not stop preaching Suru. Because, yes, facility, you will get it, but it's a gradual process. Now, before, we do not have nothing like this bill. Now that we have the bill, well, after this program now, we will call some like-minded people. We sit down together, we analyze everything here. We will write our action plan. We will now start the implementation. I know this way. A lot of things. So at so after this, we will sit down with our partners. Sometimes we don't know what to do. Our partners, we one near among Pegbon and cooking Pegbon, cooking Pego. Two good heads is better than just one. We have partners around the world who will sit down and talk. Then you talk of facility is a gradual process. The 360 primary healthcare centers around Oyo State, when they started, Kotisi Bill Yi, I walked up to them, and that time, because go to an extent. So now that we have the law, yesterday, the chairman of Hospital Management Board was here, and is our friend. Very shortly, when we are writing up, when our rapporteur presented all these things, with the committee will take share, will sit down and see the way out. Please, let us be patient. Thank you.
All right, please put your hands together. Thank you very much. Then this person is just, I think his own contribution is more of advice. He said we need affirmative action plan for persons with disability, environment, ECT. Now, in our hands, is it going to be, is it achievable? Are these achievable? So do you want to respond to that? Thank you.
It is very possible. It is achievable if we all are ready. While I was giving my my lecture then, I was saying something that it is time we start looking at ourselves and saying that this is the way we want things to be done in our favor. It is the way we planned for it to be done. And it is from this kind of gathering that we will move forward. We will bring out our challenges. We are going to bring out the solution. And then the laws or the enforcement of such things will come from this kind of places. And that is why we have to actively participate. It is not when we hear of employment alone. It is not when we know that some freebies are going to be handed down. That is when our numbers will. It is during this, because this is the foundational stone laying for anything that we want to do in this state. It's from this kind of programs that we have them. And we cannot achieve this without the media. Ministry should put up a program whereby people with disabilities will come down. They will be the presenters in helping us achieve all what we need to do. People listen to the radio, people watch the TV. So once these things are being projected into the public space, a lot of awareness will come in, and because of that, the society will change at the way they look at people that are living with disabilities. Thank you.
So in conclusion, and in final, the last question I think is directed to Barrister Adele Kombi. The person wants to know if there is a vocational skill like tailoring, hairdressing, shoemaking in government school for persons with disability in your state.
Thank you. For persons with disability, no. Yes, no. We only have, there are some moribund facilities. The last time when my sister was, during our presentation, because they left, but this, I know it will get to them. My brother is here, DG Gaming Board. He will be speaking to us very shortly. The Women Affairs kept holding on to some facilities. I know some of their people are here. Well, you made mention that maybe there's going to be amendment so that they can release all these homes and institutions to the agency. Yes, it is going to be. Already there's a small section there that says all these things should be transferred to us. But Just 2 weeks ago, the Women's Affairs just obliged us. We went to one of our institutions in Ogbomoso and the Moribund Rehabilitation Center for persons with disability in Monia there. Yes, I waited and waited. I speak and speak. I pursue and pursue before that happens. We took inventory last week. Mr. Okes here. Please help us. Can be, given to the agency. You can hand over those 2 institutions to us before we now start talking to the Minister of Education of other homes so that we can take proper care of our children with disability. Presently, as I speak, they are called PRI Institute. They are ready to come and take over Rehabilitation Center. They want to make sure they renovate the of that center to them so that the government alone cannot do us renovate. We want them to help us improve the Rehabilitation Center in Monia. Please, I will want other ministries. Minister of Women Affairs and Inclusion, yes, we've been working together, but we are down slow. We are very slow. But please let us speed it up so that people can acquire more skills from school. If those schools are given to our guys here, they are waiting. They have been supporting us. They want to support some more. Baba Ilaji came in. There are some discussions that we had in terms of compliance. So we've spoken to a lot of people. We have discussed. Please help us talk to ministries, education, women affairs. They are working, yes, but they should help us expedite, please. Thank you.
And with that, we come to the end of this. No, to this section, end of this particular session. And with that, we come to the end from.
Let's hear from our friend, the DG Gaming Board. It's here. Inclusive gaming. But there's something that is called inclusive gaming. But boy, I want disabled gun cash here. Lori Flash FM. So it's for DG Gaming Board. I tell you, tell me, Lauren.
My name is Honorable Olajide Boladuro. I'm the Director General of Your State Gaming. I want to congratulate everyone on the. First of all, my friend, my bosom friend, Barrister Adekombi, on the successful Service Administration Omitutun 1.0. Administration Omitutun 1.0. I remember when we first, all persons with disability, I congratulate you all because this is a very, so I congratulate you all. I will speak a little about, not a whole lot, we regulate a lot of sports betting. I will speak a little about, not a whole lot, we regulate a lot of sports betting companies. I'm not going to mention any names because I'm not here to advertise them. I'm not going to mention any names because I'm not here to advertise them. But if there's any reason where anybody plays cashier, any reason where anybody plays cashier or whoever Barrister mentioned that one, that's why I'm saying it. And you have mentioned that one, that's why I'm saying it. And you have an issue with them. My office is just right here by the governor's office. It never happened. I remember there was a story because I remember I was telling the governor sometime last year. There was a guy that won some kind of discrepancy. And he came to our agency and filled out a complaint form in a lottery. We will always step in for you and we will do the right thing and make sure that you get justification where it's due. So again, I congratulate everyone and we're due on challenges with persons with disability. So thank you very much. Continue to enjoy yourself. I appreciate ability. So thank you very much. Continue to enjoy yourself. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Ṣé gan ni ẹ bá ń fún DG Gaming látẹ̀wọ́ ní báyìí kó tó di pé a máa tú wa sílẹ̀ rẹpẹtẹ ká fẹsẹ̀ rajó ká dára wa lára yá ká jẹ ká mu màá pe documentary Èmi máa gbé microphone sílẹ̀ nísìnyí torí I need to be in another part of the country in the next few hours. As a result of that, màá gbé microphone lé Mr. Etu Sodiq lọ́wọ́ kó máa dá wa lára yá. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà nídìí media, brief documentary, we want to take a look at that. Thank you so much and God bless. Then ẹnìkan bẹ tó sọ airport there nù, case airport there please. Tó bá sọ evidence ni o. Thank you and God bless.
Very, very soon. Thanks for this very great, good section that we had. We had a wonderful time. Put your hands together again for then the same way. Tea break. No, lama lo for lunch. Nobody goes out. They bring your ticket. You sit down. They'll bring your food to your table. You tell them what you want. Amala neo, rice neo, fruit neo, and your drink. But please, we are not going to be going up and down. Amajoko sisitwa, wafwani lunchwa, wafwani nkote. So meanwhile, let us watch this documentary once more. After the documentary, our shiagbo ariale pẹ̀lú barabale díẹ̀ now.
Disability is part of being human and is integral to the human experience. It results from the interaction between health conditions and personal factors. The Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities and its optional protocol, CRPD 2006, defines persons with disabilities to include those who have long-term physical, mental, intellectual or sensory impairments with society on equal basis with others.
The family they should accept their children living with disability. It is only when they have accepted them that they can now seek for assistance outside the family. The rubric and the fabric of the family, they should integrate them wholly, holistically to the family school, to take them to, they should seek for appropriate medical assistance. They should seek for everything that will make life meaningful and comfortable. Equality. The life is meant for everybody. People living with disability, life is meant for them. They have the right to religion.
The World Health Organization, WHO, estimates that 1.3 billion people experience significant disability. This represents 16% of the world's population. Various challenges and barriers in the pursuit of their advancement in life. These individuals have often experienced discrimination, lack of access to education, others. Recognizing the need to address these issues in the Agency for Persons Living with Disabilities.
This agency is a coordinating disability across all the MDAs and agencies. For example, we have women have yet an inclusion. Because of education, we have education. Most of our people goes to school, they are in secondary school, primary school, and with compliance and implementation of all these compliance of those that will not abide by the law.
The agency was created with the aim to eradicate discrimination against persons with disabilities, safeguarding them from all forms of bias and ensuring equal opportunities in every aspect of societal living.
With this agency in place in Oyo State, persons with disabilities will go places. Already, yes, you will see changes in the lives of persons with disabilities In fact, what people thought he cannot do, we kudos to the Director General of this agency. He has been doing everything he can. That is Barrister Ayodele Adekambi. You know, he's also a visually impaired man. So definitely, the wealth of experience, the knowledge he has gained, that he has acquired, he definitely help us to be hopeful as far as persons with disabilities in your state is concerned.
They support persons with disabilities. One of such efforts is the Stakeholder Summit, which brings together various stakeholders, including government officials and representatives of persons with disabilities, to discuss and develop strategies for improving the lives of this set of people in the state.
All of us have to think that there are some people that are not like us, that live within us, with which will make life easier for persons with disabilities. If these policies are not put in place, it unilaterally take the responsibilities of their children with disabilities, how the responsibility rests on the government, as it is in other civilized parts of the world, where, because of the care and the supplies received from
Disabilities is amplifying the leadership of persons with disabilities for an inclusive and sustainable future. Persons with disabilities in all spheres of the society. It also serves to advocate for their inclusion.
Must have the right to education, must have the right to health services, must have the right to social amenities, and they want a wheelchair user, or someone that has a spinal cord injury and they are, because of movement, the person does not have access to education at a young age. That person will have the confidence to even come out in the public that, okay, he or she wants. If any parent deny them of their social rights and seek for assistance and help for ways in which those children can also belong to the society.
To this end, society towards ensuring that there is equality when associating with humans.
Using this opportunity to appreciate this, it's creating an awareness that persons with disabilities can be useful in life. And we are in the shoes now. We are very hopeful. We have many disabled persons in different professions that are here in this summit. So there's no doubt about it. Others stepping stone to success. With this summit, I'm very sure at the end of the summit, you know that discrimination will at least will be something that will be reduced.
Already put that in the board. When you look at this, you see somebody by the side during the news. You see somebody by the side doing sign language interpretation. We want all other media to follow suit. Our hospitals, our primary health care centers all over the state, they'll be coming around where we sit down, look at everybody's role and their responsibility.
By working together, we can create a more inclusive and supportive environment for persons living with disabilities in Oyo State and beyond.
Ọmọ Ìbàdàn kí ni sọ? Ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ sókè sẹ́ẹ̀ tí ìjẹun ni. Ọmọ Ìbàdàn kí ni sọ? Ẹ pariwo dáadáa. Kí lẹ jẹ lánàá? Mi ò gbọ́. Kí lẹ fi jókòó? Ẹ jèrè. Aago mélòó lẹ délé? Ẹni 7 sáàpù. Aago mélòó lẹ débẹ̀? Ìyàlẹ́ nísìn. Kó tó di pa wà á kọrin. Torí pé fàájì la dà sílẹ̀ ní rẹpẹtẹ báyìí. Yes. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́. Okay, now. Kọ́kọ́rọ́ ilé ẹyọ kan ni wọ́n fún ọmọ. Ṣé dádì ní kó fún ni àbí ó fún ni àbí mọ́mì? Mi ò gbọ́. Ẹ jèrè ọmọ o. Ẹ ní sunkún lórí ọmọ o. Now, ó wá dọwọ́ òru. Ẹ wá ń gbọ́. Ẹ ṣílẹ̀kùn. Tẹ́ bá ṣílẹ̀kùn bẹ́ẹ̀ a máa fìbọn fọ́ gbogbo lẹ̀kùn. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ta ni kó lọ ṣílẹ̀kùn ṣé dádì àbí mọ́mì? torí ipá wa la Jésù àbí ọlọ́mọ nọ́mbà lẹ́yìn tó ti pẹ́ àti tó ti pẹ́ mo rántí ìgbà táwọn wà ní secondary school ṣé ẹ lè rán mi létí àwọn orúkọ school tó jẹ́ wípé ó jẹ́ public school Ìbàdàn yìí ẹ máa rán mi létí Emmanuel College yes secondary school ó yá mò ń gbọ́ o Abadina yes Apẹ̀rẹ̀ Oníyèrè àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ṣé wàá rántí pé àwa tá a bá mọ̀wé àwọn tá a bá mọ̀wé ọwọ́ iwájú náà máa ń kó wọn sí àwa tá a bá ti wá gbọ́n pa àbá. ọjọ́ kan mo rántí ọdún tí wọ́n mú English teacher wá sínú school wa nígbà tí wọ́n sọ pé kí gbogbo wa pátápátá tá a bá ti dé láàárọ̀ wọ́n ní ká má sọ Yorùbá mọ́ ìṣòro sì ní fèmí torí mi ò gbé bò tó bá ti yá wá ní ó di ọjọ́ kan èmi àtọ̀rẹ́ mi Lúkú lájọ wà nù kíláàsì èmi àtọ̀rẹ́ mi Lúkú lájọ wà nù kíláàsì ní ọjọ́ yẹn Lúkú wá fẹ́ yá báírò lọ́wọ́ mi kò gbé bò èmi náà ò sì gbé bò ó ti kọ́kọ́ ń fọwọ́ táàpù mi ìdálóhùn ẹ̀ka náà ó kàn fáìlì ọwọ́ rẹ̀ báyìí ni ó kàn dàdé mi látàrí ni láì he give me two teacher ní if you cannot pariwo yé sọ pé if you cannot express yourself in English sit down mo ní teacher ìjọ 70 naira ló wà lọ́wọ́ mi màá fún yín 30 naira tó bá kù lọ́la ó ti fẹ́ bà yé mi jẹ́ ó ti fẹ́ lù mí pa ṣé wá rí ọjọ́ kan teacher wá ṣe mistake wọ́n lọ ránṣẹ́ pè mí kí n wá kàyé for apple mo ní wọ́n dá wàhálà lẹ̀ èmi tó jẹ́ pé mi è gun mọ́tò wá school mo máa ń fẹsẹ̀ rìn ni ọmọ Ìbàdàn kí ni sóò lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí Ìbàdàn kí ni sóò mo ṣe bọ́ tàbá ẹ̀ níbo mo ṣe kà á mo lọ́lọ́ mọ́ jòjú ó tì mí mo ní A for agbeni B for bẹ̀rẹ̀ C for challenge D for dùgbẹ̀ E for ẹlẹ́ta F for fẹ́lẹ́lẹ̀ G for gate H for high court I for Q for Queen Cinema R for ring road S for sasa T for toll gate U for UI V for Ventura W for Wakajaye X for inú UI ni wọ́n wà ń bá kú mọ́ torí Ọlọ́run oh my. Oh yes a fẹ́ lọ jó Adébáyọ̀ Isaiah Taiwo mọ́tàgbàmọ́lẹ̀ mi ní wáyé tì ambassador ni gbajúgbajà òǹkọrin nínú àkàndá ni ambassador olùṣọ́ àgùntàn Adébáyọ̀ Isaiah Taiwo ẹ máa ń pàtẹ́wọ́ fún broda Taiwo ẹ pàtẹ́wọ́ fún wọn dáadáa wọn ṣáà jẹ yín lówó bí 87.7 FM nìbàdàn ẹlẹ́bẹ̀ wo ẹ kú òkàlẹ̀ láúdà.
ẹ jọ̀wọ́ ẹ dé bíìtì sókè. Ọlọ́run tó tóbi Ọlọ́run bá gbà Ọlọ́run tó tóbi ò láyé Ọlọ́run bá gbà ayé ò gbà ó fọ̀run ṣe bùgbé bó ti sẹ́ Ọlọ́run tó tóbi Ọlọ́run bá gbà ọmọlógo tí ò ní pín láéláé kò ní tí kò ní rùn kò ní kú kò ní jẹ̀bàjẹ́ òrẹ́ ò ní há lórúkọ Jésù olíbú ọrẹ. Ọlọ́run tó torí Ọlọ́run agbára bíi tí mo wà ẹ bá ń wá mọ́nìtọ̀ mi. Ọlọ́run tó tóbi ò láyé Ọlọ́run bá gbà ó ayé ò gbà ó fọ̀run ṣe bùgbé ọ̀run ò gbà mọ́ ó fàyè ṣàpótí tìsẹ̀ Ọlọ́run tó tóbi Ọlọ́run bá gbà.
to you, Lord. I will never be ungrateful to you, Lord. Never be ungrateful to you, Lord. Ó ṣe mí lóore, ó ṣe mí lóore, ó ṣe mí lóore. Ó ṣe mí lóore, mo ríre gbà o. Mo mọ̀rẹ́, 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 mo
This kind of blessed be your holy name. This kind God, oh, your holy name. Ẹ wá 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 kàndá lọ́yọ̀ state. Àwa ń gbádùn rẹ̀ o bàbá. This kind God, oh, I've never seen your type, oh. This kind God, oh. Blessed be your holy name. Elédùmarè bàbá mímọ́, Elédùmarè rọ́bà ròkè, àjúbà lọ́dọ̀ rẹ̀ ó Èdùmarè, àjúbà kì í bá ṣẹ. Elédùmarè bàbá mímọ́, àjúbà kì í bá ṣẹ. Sòmìrè fàdùnà, dúré tí lásán. Ìsọ̀fẹ́fẹ́ làdúdú làlọ́, bọ́mìrè mi dòdò sọ. Bàbá o, rọ̀bà òkè, àjúbà kì í bá ṣẹ. Ọlọ́run bàbá lọ́lá, àwa máa ń rí iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ rẹ̀. Ọlọ́run bàbá Jídé, ó yẹ àjò fún bàbá. Kílẹ̀ ni mo wí, Ọlọ́run bàbá lọ́lá, àwa máa rí iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ rẹ̀. Ọlọ́run bàbá Jídé, àwa máa rọ ẹnu. Àwa táyé mi tọ́lọ́run ò jẹ́ kó, ó yẹ àjò fún bàbá. Orí progression yẹn ni mo fẹ́, wọn ò lè rí mi gbéṣe. Ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ wípé wọ́n á lé mi, ṣùgbọ́n wọn ò lè borí mi. Barrister, ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ wípé wọ́n mẹ́fà, wọ́n sáré kàbàkàbà lọ́nà méje. Torí ẹni bàbá kan tí yóò gba gbẹ̀rẹ́, òun la bí a mọ́. Àwa máa rí iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ rẹ, Ọlọ́run 1930. Torí pé lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ ni wọ́n ń ṣèyanu. Àwa táyé mi tọ́lọ́run ò jẹ́ kó, ó yẹ àjò fún bàbá. Ẹ wò bá ṣe máa kọrin ẹ lélẹ́yìí, ẹ jẹ́ akọ báyìí. Torí Ọlọ́run ọba, a máa wí pé Ọlọ́run àwa àkàndá, àwa máa rọ́wọ́ iṣẹ́ rẹ̀. Àwa máa wí pé Ọlọ́run ní ìwé ìjẹsìn, lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ ni wọ́n ń ṣèyanu. Àwa táyé mi tọ́lọ́run ò jẹ́ káwó, ó yẹ àjò. Ọlọ́run àwa àkàndá, Ọlọ́run àwa àkàndá, àwa máa rí iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ rẹ̀. Ilẹ̀ wí o, Ọlọ́run àwa àkàndá, àwa máa rú lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ ni wọ́n ń ṣèyanu. Àwa táyé mi tọ́lọ́run ò jẹ́ kó. àkàndá àwa máa ń rọ́wọ́ iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ ọlọ́run ní ìwé agency lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ ni wọ́n ń ṣèyanu àwa táyé bèbè mi tọ́lọ́run ò jẹ́ kó ó yẹ àjò fún bàbá wa máa rí iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ rẹ̀ àní ọlọ́run àwa àkàndá lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ ni wọ́n ń ṣèyanu àwa táyé bèbè mi. ẹ jẹ́ àjọkọ́ báyìí orin tọ́mọ ọlọ́dún mẹ́jọ fẹ́ràn jù láti máa gbọ́ àbí ò tí ì ṣí ni agency ṣáà ti dé ọ̀run sì ti rọ̀jò rẹ̀ ẹ̀mí mímọ́ lọ́la ṣe pé iṣẹ́ ó mú ìkó lọ padà ẹ bá mi dúpẹ́ ilẹ̀kùn ayọ̀ wà ti ṣí ọ̀run sì ti rọ̀jò rẹ̀ ẹ̀mí mi ṣí ọ̀run mà ti rọ̀jò rẹ̀ o ẹ̀mí mímọ́ lọ́la ṣe pé iṣẹ́ ó mú ìkó lọ padà ẹ jẹ́ a jọ dúpẹ́ ilẹ̀kùn ayọ̀ àti ṣí ọ̀run sì ti rọ̀jò rẹ̀ ẹ̀mí mímọ́ lọ́la ṣe pé iṣẹ́ ó mú ìkó lọ padà. gbogbo àkàndá adé kàn bí olóríire bàbá ọmọ tuntun níwèé jẹ.
ẹ mú wálẹ̀ Báyọ̀ ó sáfẹ́ gba owó lọ́wọ́ mi lónìí mo jọ jókòó kájọ ṣe fàájì kájọ ṣeré that's the best time tó máa ń ṣẹlẹ̀ sí mi in life and by the grace of God during my next birthday àjọ ṣe fàájì papọ̀ ni àjọ ṣe fàájì dọ́gba fàájì ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni ẹ̀yin oní trọ́fì ẹ̀yin oní ẹnikìn ẹ̀yin àwò ẹ̀ máa mutí o Báyọ̀ please let me hear some sound and we are still here.
ọlọ́run àwa àkàndá àwa máa ń rọ́wọ́ iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ ọlọ́run ní ìwé agency lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ ni wọ́n ń ṣèyanu àwa táyé mímímí tọ́lá àwa àkàndá àwa máa rí iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ rẹ̀ ọlọ́run àwa àkàndá àwa máa rọ́wọ́ iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ ọlọ́run ní ìwé agency lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ ni wọ́n ń ṣèyanu àwa táyé mímímí tọ́lọ́run ò jẹ́ náwó ó yẹ àjò fún bàbá. gbogbo àkàndá ẹ máa gbọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká sáré lọ ṣe báyìí má mà pa orí ọlọ́run mọ́ra o. olúwa bá ṣe ọ́ lóore. ìmájà ń fìlì bẹ́sì ẹ dáadáa. má mà pa orí ọlọ́run mọ́ra o. kílẹ̀ wí kárí aleluya ìjó ayọ̀ sí bàbá kárí aleluya ìjó ayọ̀ sí bàbá. má mà pa. Full progression. Olúwa bá ṣe ọ́ lóore. Ìjọ ọpẹ́ lélẹ́yìí. Láṣẹwájú Jésù ọlọ́run ọba. Olórí ayé. Ọba tó mú kojú àrọ́dún. Òṣè àríyànú gbà. Ọ̀nà tábàrà pàǹgbà. Wọn ò mórí délé báwa bàgbàbẹ ọlọ́run ń ṣọ́ wa kì í ṣe pé torí bá a dára àánú la rí gbà lójoojúmọ́ má mà pa orí ọlọ́run mọ́ra o. Olúwa bá ṣe ọ́ lóore. Ọ̀rẹ́ má mà pa orí Ọlọ́run mọ́ra o. Olúwa bá ṣe ọ́ lóore. Kan wá o. Ní agency, ó yí biribiri kan wá o. Ó yí kan wá Àkàndá, bówù yẹn pé wá lọ́mọ Ṣèyí Mákindé. Ó tẹ́ wá lọ́rùn, ó tẹ́ wá lọ́rùn dáadáa. Ẹ̀gbọ́n tí kọmíṣánná sọ lánàá, wọ́n ní ẹ wo Barrister, wọ́n ló ń dán bí kòlòjíà, wọ́n ló ń dán tẹni tó ríran lọ. Ẹ wá ní òyì kàn wá ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ẹ sọ ni. Ẹ wá ní òyì kàn wá. Ó ti yí, 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 ó ti yí. Àní òyì biribiri kan wá o. Oyi biribiri kan wá o. Oyi biribiri kan wá o. Ilẹ̀ wí. Oyi biribiri. Àní. Oyi biribiri oyi kan wá o. Àánú Olúwa yìí kan wá. Àló ti yìí kan wá o. Ọ̀rọ̀ ti kúrò ní táyé jọ́hún. Tákàndá máa fẹ́ yàwó, wọ́n á ní báwo ló ṣe máa fẹ́. Ló máa fẹ́ lọ́kọ, tán láwọn ò lè fọkọ fún. Ẹ̀yin ènìyàn mi, àbí báwo ni? Nísẹ̀yìí, iṣẹ́ ti yàtọ̀. Àkàndá ò lè rí lé rẹ́ǹtì. Ṣùgbọ́n nísẹ̀yìí Àkàndá gan ti di láńlọ́ọ̀dù o. Ó tún ń gbani sílé. Lọ́wọ́ yìí iṣẹ́ ti yàtọ̀. Oyi kan wá o. Àwa ẹni àbáta káàfì Timothy. Àwa dẹni àjítọ́nà wo. Ó ti yí biribiri kan wá o. Àánú Olúwa yìí kan wá o. Àṣẹ bí eré akọ́lé alárinrin. Ó lọ mú Ṣèyí ọmọ Mákindé. Ó ní kó wá ṣe gómìnà wa nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Tẹ̀bá wá dé local government. Àkàndá wá dàpé wá wò. Ẹ wo ṣé Ọlọ́run lára Àkàndá. agbára mú. Engine room tí ó gbọ́dọ̀ wò. Ẹ wo ṣé Ọlọ́run lára àkàndá. Àkàndá ṣe program, Abarapá ṣe chairman, ẹ wo gbogbo commissioner. Pátápátá látànà títí dòní. Àní ní iṣẹ́ yìí, iṣẹ́ ti yàtọ̀ o. Kíkàn wá o. Lórí, lórí, lórí. It has come to stay. It has stayed for life. Lábẹ́ DG tó mòye o. Director General mi àtàtà o. Agency mi pàtàkì. Fọ́nrọ̀ àwa àkàndá. Ìgbà tó láwọn máa bá dédé lórí. A rò pé room 79 wọ́n máa parẹ́ ni. Àṣé room 79 yẹn sì máa wà sẹpẹ́sẹpẹ́ sẹpẹ́sẹpẹ́. Ọdún mú. Executive assistance to the governor. Lórí ọ̀rọ̀ gbogbo tó jẹ mọ́ ti àkàndá. Ẹ̀wẹ̀ evangelist Olúbi Káyọ̀dé o. Àwọn yẹn ń ṣe dáadáa lágbo àkàndá. Àjùlọ onítèmi pàtàkì. Wọ́n ṣe dáadáa lágbo àkàndá. Oyi oyi ó ti yí kàn wá o. Ẹni bí chairman, àwọn yẹn ń ṣe dáadáa lágbo àkàndá. Ẹ wo Roslyn, ọmọ Oníyìídé, aya Oníyìídé. Mama Paul, Mama Priscilla. Secretary Jonathan, àwọn yẹn ń ṣe dáadáa lágbo àkàndá. Oyi 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 ó kàn wá o. Ani mama pa orí Ọlọ́run mọ́ra o. Olúwa. Lọ́lá Ọlọ́run ògo yìí ògo lè kú. Olúwa bá ṣe á lóore. A ní ògo yìí Olúwa ògo yìí. Ẹ̀yin àkàndá kí lẹ wí. Má ṣe jẹ́ kó bàjẹ́, má ṣe jẹ́ kó dàrú, má ṣe jẹ́ kó bàjẹ́ o. Olúwa ògo yìí, ògo yìí o, ògo yìí, ògo yìí. Ọlọ́run má ṣe jẹ́ kó bàjẹ́, má ṣe jẹ́ kó dàrú, má ṣe jẹ́ kó bàjẹ́ o. Olúwa ògo yìí. Bàjẹ́ kíra Merry Christmas in advance. Ẹ jẹ́ ṣe báyìí kákíra wa kú ọdún. Ká máa wí pé ọdún yìí ayabo.
Báyọ̀ ẹ mú kíní wálẹ̀ díẹ̀ ẹ rí i pé ó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ń wọra bọ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀ ni ọmọ Báyọ̀ yìí ó fẹ́ máa gba owó ní ọwọ́ mi. This is real cool. Láìpẹ́ láì jìnnà á bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní jẹun ọ̀sán mọ́tálẹ́ kó tó di pé a mọ̀ wẹ́rẹ́. Ẹ̀yin tí ẹ bá kọ orúkọ yín lẹ́ẹ̀kan àwọn kan ní àwọn ò mọ agency ẹ sì wá ń gbowó lọ́wọ́ wa ẹ ti mọ agency ń ṣe o. Ọtí Ṣèyí Mákindé lẹ̀ mú yìí o, oúnjẹ Ṣèyí Mákindé wà ńlẹ̀ o, ẹ pàtẹ́wọ́ fún Ṣèyí Mákindé, àtẹ́wọ́ yóò tó. Music ká gbádùn ara wa fún bíi wákàtí díẹ̀ sí nàró ọwọ́ ẹ̀ sókè.
Ọdún yìí atura. Ọdún yìí amèrègèdè o. Èrègèdè la oyè. Ọdún yìí ayabo. Ọdún èrègèdè la oyè o. Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ àtọ̀rọ̀ mu, Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ àtọ̀rọ̀ kan o, táyà tọmọ lé la óyè, pérégedé la óyè tẹ. Ọdún yìí àtura, ọdún yìí àmìrègèdè, pérégedé la óyè. Ẹ wò bá ṣe fẹ́ ṣe, ire mi ti dé mo ti mọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ o, ayọ̀ mi ti yọ, ǹjẹ́ Gabriel ti gbére ayọ̀ mi dé o, ǹjẹ́ Gabriel ti gbére ayọ̀ mi dé o, ìwọ ńkọ́, ire mi ti dé mo ti mọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ o, ayọ̀ mi ti dé mo ti mọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ o, ẹ wá bá mi jó everybody ẹ bá mi yọ, ǹjẹ́ Gabriel. Adúpẹ́ àgbọ́pẹ́dá fọlọ́run àwọn ọlọ́run. Àdídídé táàdé àgbékólòkó márogó. Àdídídé táàdé o àgbékọ́ lọ́nà máa yẹnu. Ìjọ ọ̀pẹ làwa jó, oúnjẹ ọdún làwa jẹ. Ìpàdé ọdún la wá ṣe, owó ọdún la wá ná. Lábá ní kí ló ṣe wá, ká sọ fún wọn pé ayọ̀ ni. Bó ṣe yí ọmọ Mákindé o, ó ti rán barista sí wa. Àdìrán Adékàn kì í sí wa. Wọ́n mú agency tuntun lórí sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn àkàndá, wọ́n fi dá wà lọ́lá o, wọ́n ní a máa yọ̀ tọ́ mi. Ẹ jẹ́ fún yín ní gist kan, gbogbo yín lẹ máa sanwó ẹ̀. Bóyá lẹ mọ̀ pé kọ́dún tó parí o, àwọn mọ́tò wa máa dé. Wọ́n ti jẹ́ kó yé wa bí wọ́n máa kó mọ́tò fún wa. Agency tó lọ́fíìsì tó tún ní premises tó wọnú budget tó tún wá ní mọ́tò ẹgbọ́n kí ló tún kù o kákàndá máa yọ̀ tọ̀ mí. barista sí wa. ànìtán bá ní kí ló ń ṣe wá ẹ sọ fún wọn pé ayọ̀ ni ṣèyí ọmọ mákindé ó ti rán barista sí wa. ayọ̀délé ọmọdé kan ń bí. láṣẹ wá jójó ọpẹ́ àwa ń kọrin àwa ń jẹun àwa ń jó à ń náwó à ń ṣe.
ẹ jẹ́ ká fún DFA ní account number. lóòótọ́ ló sọ o wọ́n ti ní kárí yín o ẹ gba account number yẹn kọ́ sọ́wọ́ DFA títí ọ̀la oníṣẹ́ Ṣèyí Mákindé ó mọ̀ jẹ́ fún kálukú o. nàró ọwọ́ kìíní sókè mò ń gbádùn ẹ̀ gan o. ẹni tí ó bá kí n ṣe àkàndá ẹ dákun ẹ má jẹ́ ara kàǹtì yín bí o. àwọn àkàndá wọn rán wa sí o. okay now ẹ ò bá jẹ́ àkàndá má jẹ́ ara kàǹtì ẹ bí o. mọ́ jẹ̀gún mọ́ yán o.
ẹni tí ò kí ṣàkàndá wọ́n ní òun má kọ orúkọ ṣùgbọ́n báyìí la ṣe máa ṣe tàbá gbowó tán a máa fún ẹ níbẹ̀. tó bá lákàndá lọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ ó máa gbé ẹ jáde ó máa ṣe shopping fún ẹ wọ́n ti rán barista sí wa. ṣé ẹ gbọ́ mo bẹ́ẹ̀kì fún ọ. ẹ wo barista ṣẹ̀kẹ̀rẹ̀ yóò de ìbànújẹ́ lọ́lá Elédùmarè ayọ̀ la máa máa yọ̀ ìjó la máa máa jó sọ́lọ́gbọ́n ọba àní kí ló ṣe wá ẹ sọ fún wọn pé. wọ́n ní bẹ́ẹ̀ bá jẹun tán tẹ́ ẹ̀ mu tíì tán tẹ́ ẹ̀ gba fẹ́fẹ́ tán tẹ́ ẹ̀ mu tẹ́ ẹ̀ máa mú tán wọ́n máa nánú owó. wọ́n máa náwó níṣe bó ṣe ń ṣe kàkú tó o bá igbórí wọ Canada tí wọ́n bá rẹ́jísítà rẹ lọ́sọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ lóṣooṣù o olówó tó o máa gbà. tó o bá ìwọ Amẹ́ríkà gẹ́gẹ́ bí àkàndá ọlọ́run aláwòkọ́ṣe nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Bayelsa State ni wàá nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. tẹ́ ẹ bá dẹ̀ ti gbàgbé o ẹ̀jẹ̀ ń ràn yín létí. ṣe rántí ní 2020 nígbà tí corona wọlé dé gbogbo ọmọ yẹn ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ló ti kọ́kọ́ wá. isolation centers tá a kọ́ kò máa ma ṣẹlẹ́gẹ̀ ohun tó fẹ́ rí solution kan ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ló. kì í ṣe ẹjọ́ wa kì í ṣe ẹjọ́ wa Ọlọ́run ló ní orí bẹ́ẹ̀ Ọlọ́run ló ní orí bẹ́ẹ̀. wọ́n ní kí ló ń ṣe wá wọ́n ní kí ló ń ṣe wá a sọ fún wọn wípé ayọ̀ ni Ṣèyí ọmọ Mákindé o ó ti rán barista sí o. omi tuntun 1.0 ṣé ẹ mọ̀ pé ayọ̀ 1.0 ṣé ẹ mọ̀ pé ayọ̀ ni omi tuntun 2.0 eléyìí tún. ó ti ń gbà náà lọ́hùn tàwa bí wákàm ọdún kan àtọ́ bí wákàm ọdún kan àtọ́ṣù mẹ́rin péré ẹ̀wọ̀n tó jẹ́ oṣù mẹ́rin péré ẹ̀wọ̀n tó jẹ́ nsì tìbí kódò di 2027 nsì tìbí kódò di 2027 gbogbo yín lẹ̀ ti máa. minimum wage very soon ó máa tẹ̀ yín lọ́wọ́. ṣẹ́fọ̀ kan ti promise yìí wá lánàá òde yìí wọ́n ní tó o bá ti rìtáyà gẹ́gẹ́ bí àkàndá gratitude rẹ automatic ló máa jẹ́. ó soríire mo rí ẹni bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹ o. àní kí ló ń ṣe wá ẹ sọ fún wọn pé ayọ̀ ni Ṣèyí ọmọ
Mákindé Mákindé ó ti rán barista sí wa.
ẹni tí ò bá ti kọ orúkọ ẹni tí ò bá ti kọ orúkọ tí ò tí fàkáǹtì ẹ̀ sílẹ̀ ẹni tí ò tí kẹ́ ẹ lè ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn sí wa.
ẹ jọ ẹ mú wálẹ̀ mo sọ fún yín lẹ́ẹ̀kan pé wọ́n á máa wóúnjẹ bá yín wọ́n á máa mọ́tì bá yín wọ́n á máa tètè yín bí ọba ẹ fẹ́ lọ gbàgbàdo oúnjẹ ń ta mi wọ́n á máa tètè yín bí ọba ẹ fẹ́ lọ gbàgbàdo oúnjẹ ń ta mi àní ẹ wọlé ẹ jókòó ta àwọn ọlọ́pàá ò ní jẹ́ kó wọlé mọ́ o ẹ wọlé ẹ jókòó ta àwọn ọlọ́pàá ò ní jẹ́ kó wọlé mọ́ o mo fẹ́ lọ tọ̀ tó bá lọ tọ̀ ò ní wọ ibi báyìí mọ́ o gómìnà ń wò wá ọlọ́jókòó ẹ má jẹ́ kí wọ́n kó wa pọ̀ mọ́ àwọn ará sábó we have dignity ẹ lọ jókòó ẹ má jáde ẹ tó bá ti jáde tó lọ rọ́ọ̀ṣù oúnjẹ a máa tì mọ́ta ni o ṣé ń gbọ́ mi dáadáa ẹ wà ó tiwa ẹ má rọ́ọ̀ṣù sẹ́ ẹ lọ jókòó ẹ jọ ẹ Báyọ̀ yí kìíní sókè.
wọ́n ní pé ọba ni wá ẹ jẹ́ á jókòó bí ọba ẹ jẹ́ á jókòó bí ọba. slow high life ni mo fẹ́ kò tí ì débẹ̀. jẹ́ kó máa bọ̀. mo ti rí ìyẹn ló ṣe dá mi. èyí mo ti rí ìyẹn mà ló ṣe dá mi. torí iṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run lèmi jẹ́. torí iṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run lèmi jẹ́. àwa tọ́lọ́ ń dá. honey, honey. ẹni tí ò gbọ́ràn Ọlọ́run ẹni tí ò gbọ́ràn Ọlọ́run ló métí lọ Ọlọ́run ló ní orí ló métí lọ Ọlọ́run ló ní orí. èèyàn tó wà lórí wheelchair Ọlọ́run ló gbé jókòó síbẹ̀ Ọlọ́run ló gbé jókòó síbẹ̀ arọ tí ò lẹ́sẹ̀ o ẹ̀rárọ̀ tí ò lè rìn o a máa já méje mẹ́jọ. ohun tí ò lè ṣe tẹ́ ẹ bá ohun tí ò lè ṣe tẹ́ ẹ bá ríṣẹ́ adé bá ríṣẹ́ adé. Powerful lecture, powerful lecture, ni wọ́n deliver fún wa ni wọ́n deliver fún wa. àní ìmọ̀ ti rí ìwọ ti rí torí iṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run lèmi jẹ́.